was no honor among thieves in the first place. He put hard times on Dusty Rhodes and his family. Hard times are when the textile workers around this country are out of work and got 4 or 5 kids and can't pay their wages, can't buy their food. Hard times.
You know that I'm the cream of the crop.
It doesn't matter what your name is.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass.
Woo! I tore them all down.
And I came here for one reason. To attack and keep coming.
I did it for the Rock.
You will rest in peace.
I asked you 1,000,000 times to join the NWO, or you would be for life.
Shut your mouth, you thong-wearing fatty.
Bang, bang. And what you gonna do when Hulkamania run wild on you?
And that's the bottom line, cause Stone Cold said so.
Yeah! I will ride in nothing but limousines, and I will make love to nothing but the women of the world.
You don't know what hard times are, Daddy. You will know that your ass is mine.
Bang, bang.
The best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. You got a championship belt? I don't.
That's right, I'm a Paul Heyman guy.
When Ric Flair's in town, showtime.
Woo! Sweet!
My belly's just a little big, my honey's just a little big, but brother, I am bad and they know I'm bad.
Beat me if you can survive, if I let you.
Orderly! Woo! It is Rolex time!
Quote the Raven.
You just made the list!
Who's your beat, brother? Did you dig that? Shut up! I am the game! The whole show.
If I can be serious for a minute.
You son of a bitch! Brock Lesnar. Damn!
Austin 316 says I just whipped your ass.
Oh, you didn't know? I mean, you're the Donald Trump of wrestling. You make Steven Spielberg look like a guy running 8mm films in a garage someplace. Will you stop?
You don't want to recognize my belt, huh? You don't recognize my belt. I think you're a liar. I think you're a flat-out, straight-up, lying, crying bitch.
Here come the Jesters, 1, 2, 3. It's all part of my fantasy. I love the music and I love to see the crowd dancing in my eyes and singing out loud. Here come the dancers, one by one. Your mama's calling, but you're having fun. You find your dancing on in number 9 cloud. Put your head together now and sing it out loud. It's all part of my rock and roll fantasy.
Oh, yeah. Feel like I'm right back at the strip bar. Here we go. Come on, guys. Give them a little tip and put the stripping. You know they deserve it. Come on, let's go. All right, you get a stripper on your zipper. You'll be good for the night. Come on. Anyway, what's going on, everybody? I'm sorry, guys. I had a flashback. Didn't mean it. You all right? You good? Good.
Mm-hmm. We're all good. Always good.
All right. Had a little flashback there. Sorry, guys. A little flashback of the booby trap in Pompano Beach, hanging out. Oh, good times, good times. But anyway,
you really the bare minimum and salty with that name, huh?
Yeah. There's nothing really to the imagination there. So anyway, what is going on, everybody? Is Wednesday night. This is Dirt Sheet Dudes. Thank you so much for joining us. And you know what? Real quick, just want to thank everybody once again for Friday. I know we really didn't talk wrestling. It was kind of a little bit of a serious show, and great chat room. You guys were active, love it, and just really appreciate you guys joining us for when we do something a little bit different. So really just wanted to thank you guys for that. Much appreciated. And of course, my two co-hosts over here. I've got Anthony and Smark. Gentlemen, thank you too. How are you guys?
Thank you, sir, for that introduction. And to reiterate what you just said, thank you, chat room. Thanks for bearing with us this past Friday. It was a good episode. Very, very much proud of that show.
Yeah, definitely. Got a lot of good feedback. And for those of you that did give us good feedback, you know who you are, and it was much, much appreciated. I definitely appreciate that. So thank you very much. Smark, how you doing over there, buddy?
As scrumptious as ever, and I hope everyone else is the same.
Scrumptious and delicious, huh?
That's right.
All right. He's scrum-diddly-umptious is what he's saying, folks.
Yes.
Yeah, the snozberries taste like snozberries. Shit. Anyway, yeah, definitely appreciate you guys joining us. Guess we can go ahead and knock out the plugs real quick. Trying to find something to play here. We'll go ahead and play this. What the hell? All right, let's start out. Gentlemen that joined us the other night. Let's start out with Shaheen over here. He did join us. NuclearHeatShop.com. That's where you want to start. Then you want to jump over to Chairshot Tees. And, of course, Clotheslined with a D, media.com. You definitely want to check that out also. That's where all his podcasts are going to be. And check out the High Marks, Cheeseman, Mojo, and G Wiz. Check those guys out. And, of course, Bobby Anthem, Bobby Blades. Bobby Anthem, another one who joined. Anthem joined us the other night also. Appreciate that. From the Inhuman Experience, you know where to check those guys out. Smart will get the other show in a minute because I can't do it as good. But Unscripted Wrestling Podcast, want to check out those guys also. And Stephen Milan. Go to letterboxd.com/Stephen Milan. Put 2 L's in Milan. He has reviewed over 6,800 films. Go. Check out some of those reviews. And, of course, subscribe, rate, review, follow. Follow us on Spreaker. Subscribe to us on YouTube. And, of course, you can find us Stitcher, iHeart, Spotify, TuneIn, Player. You know where to go. Anthony, hit it up. Oh, Anthony, volume.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah. Let it go.
Okay. Sorry about that, folks. Bottom Line Pro Wrestling Podcast. Jason Clark available wherever you get your podcast. Stitcher, iHeart, Google Play. Download, subscribe, leave a review. You know the drill. And Rant Time with Ray, Anchor.fm, available on the same podcast platforms. And be sure to subscribe to the YouTube companion show, also under the same name.
There you go. Smart?
Yes, sir. Planet Raconteur Podcast. That's Planet Raconteur Podcast. Bobby Anthem, Papa Dave Sincere, and Yuck Nasty. If you can find us, you can hear them. Check them out. I highly recommend it.
All right. There we go. There we go. And yes, we are going to talk wrestling tonight. That is what we're going to get into just in a second here. I figured we'd get into a little bit of news. I don't have a shit ton of news. But I know we usually don't do NXT tonight, but I'm going to start with this real quick because it's kind of the talk of the internet at this point. I guess at the end of NXT, I'm looking at a picture here of Drake Maverick, a little weepy-eyed, and Triple H holding a new contract for Drake Maverick. So he signed right there. Now, real quick, guys, gotta ask. Was this a work the whole time, or did they cave into the social media melee of all his of that video of his?
Honestly, I just think they took advantage of a situation.
Okay.
I mean, end of story. I mean, guy was legitimately released. He put out a video, cried his heart out. He said, this will make for good TV. Mm-hmm. And then along the way, they said, maybe you have something with this guy. And they rescinded their offer. I mean, let's be honest, dude. If he doesn't put out that video, he'd still be somewhere, looking for a job.
Probably.
I want to read. I'm not saying the guy's not talented. He doesn't deserve a job or anything. But let's be honest. They just took advantage of a shit situation.
Are you trying to say WWE took advantage of something? I can't.
Absolutely. Oh yeah. I mean, all of wrestling, quite frankly. I mean, bullshit with some of these bullshit tributes. Yes, I do believe they took advantage of a situation.
Okay. All right, I got you. Smart, what are your thoughts on that one real quick while I'm rolling this joint right here?
Well, I'm inclined to agree with what Anthony's saying. I was hearing basically that they offered a lot of people that they got rid of return contracts, but just for like significantly less money. And I feel like he probably just took that because taking less money is better than having to go back to Impact.
Yeah, and there's no guarantee Impact's going to take him back. So, I mean, I don't know how he left Impact. I don't know if it was on good terms or not, but
I'd imagine it would be. I haven't heard anything that indicates otherwise.
yeah, and he doesn't seem like the kind of guy that would leave anywhere on bad terms, purposely. But you never know. You never know what's going on in these situations. But yeah, I definitely tend to agree with that they definitely just kind of were like, oh, look, that video got it went viral. Mm-hmm. And WWE loves viral. We know this.
Yeah. Yeah, and look, I want to add this. I heard about that deal where they're offering people that contracts at basically a lower pay rate. Mm-hmm. And look, don't know anybody's financial situation, so I would never begrudge anybody falling back. Because checks got to clear, and especially if you got a wife and kid at home, you got to do what you got to do. But can we just kind of like reestablish how fucking shitty that it is that you fired people during a pandemic only to then bring them back at significantly less pay when you've made arguably more money than you ever did when things were running smoothly.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, man. Jesus Christ. The more I learn about wrestling, the more I'm just like, I feel like I have to take a shower now anytime I watch this shit. That's just fucking gross.
Yeah,
that's gross, man. No, checks got a player, but goddamn, you talk about literally kicking a man while he's down, taking advantage of a shit situation. That's horrible, fucking horrible, disgraceful.
Yeah, and I could even see Triple H bringing the contract out on TV, like, well, he's not going to say no on TV. All right, so, but I'm sure that, I don't know if that really happened, but yeah, I'm just starting shit here. But, good for Drake either way. I mean, it's going to still be good to see the guy on TV, so I'm happy for him. Whether he did it, for whatever his reasons were, he's there, and that's probably a pretty good thing right there. So, good for him. But like I said, that was kind of the talk of the internet. So I figured we'd go ahead and jump into that real quick. And it's one less thing for us to talk about on Friday, since I got to be up early Saturday.
Poor bastard.
Inventory, 7 a.m. Yeah, 7 a.m. So. All right. So I guess we kind of already covered that right there. I do not have a shitload of news tonight, so we're going to get into a couple more little things here. Anyone who watched Raw the other night?
I actually watched it beginning to end, and
really,
it was it was one of those deals where have it playing in the background, and I enjoyed the hell out of the Black and Rollins match, which basically dominated like the first half hour or so. That was a good match.
It was like the first 45 minutes. It was a long fucking match is what it was, but it was a good match. Like I said,
maybe it didn't even feel that long to me. Maybe it's because I actually was invested in it. It didn't feel that long.
Could have been, but I was I kind of the same thing you did. I kind of put it on and watched it in the background and just I looked up and I'm like, this match is still on? It was like 40 minutes later and I was like, holy shit, it's still fucking on. But
but talk about starting off the show hot and Nicole. I'm sorry. If I never see MVP in the ring, it'll be too soon. It'll be too fucking soon, man. Just.
Are you asking for a refund from the time you spent watching them before?
Yeah. And I don't even want to dislike MVP because I think he's a good talker, but I just don't need to see that dude in the ring no more.
Well, like I said, man, moderation, Vontavious Porter. That's what MVP should stand for. But we will get back to Raw, a little bit later. But I did want to mention they were promoting a show right after Raw. Basically, what was it called again? Raw Talk. and it was going to be coming on right after Raw. And they also announced that they're going to have a little free version of the streaming service, which we had talked about a long time ago.
Yes.
Yeah, them doing this, and kind of a strange time to do it, but...
Yeah, and I actually kind of skimmed through it. So basically, just from what I've gathered, they're going to go back about a month or so. So you'll get the last month or so worth of Raws and SmackDowns for free. None of the legacy content is free.
Right.
So if you want to watch a random episode of Raw from, like, say, 1994, you still have to be on the pay side of things.
Right.
You still got to pay for, like, the WCW stuff, the ECW stuff. The NXT stuff, same deal as Raw and SmackDown. You get about a month worth of shows for free, but you still have to, like, pay for the rest of the content. And they're saying select pay shows are free. I'm not sure what those are going to be.
Looks like Monday Night War, Ride Along, Table for Three, Photo Shoot, and Story Time are going to be the added shows you will get on the free version.
Oh yeah, so basically the shows nobody really watches. Let me see.
I didn't say 205
pay-per-views
Live.
are free too.
The what?
Did they say some of the pay-per-views? That's where I was confused at. They did say some of the pay-per-views were going to be free.
No, what I'm reading here, again, I'm reading off of a website called Deadline.com here. It's saying initially the free tier will not have any advertising. It's going to be kind of basically to promote their pay-per-view events. But I don't see where pay-per-views are going to be free on this. No, it doesn't look like it. Doesn't no. It looks like that's pretty much all you're going to get is those shows. So, what of y'all is echoing back? I don't know who has the volume up over there on the show.
Hold on, let me turn it. It was me. I'll take the heat for that.
All right, no, it's no heat. Just wanted to remind you to turn it down, man. Calm down, Anthony.
After Friday, I'm treading lightly.
You don't have to here, man. You don't have to. You're all right. You're all right.
No, it's jokes. No, it's actually going to tie into a little bit of news that I came across that was very interesting.
All right. Yeah, we will definitely get into some of that. We'll get into everything. We got a ton of shit to get into. I mean, not a ton, but you know what I mean.
I guess since we're talking about it, though, what do you guys think about that? I mean, I don't want to speak for you guys. On and off, I pretty much had the network since it started. There were a few dry spells where I had to cancel it for a little while, but for the most part, I've been like a day one subscriber. Mm-hmm. What do you guys think about them? Basically, I don't want to say like chipping away at it, but it's like it seems like you get more out of the network by doing nothing than being like a loyal subscriber and actually paying your money at this point. What do you guys think about the free tier?
I've said before, they really do nothing for their loyal subscribers, except we get pay-per-views for $10. That's really the only thing they do for us. I don't really have a problem with them doing this. I mean, let's face it. How many people are just jumping on, signing up, and 29 days or 30 days, whatever in the month, are just canceling and then signing back up? So this is probably a better way for them to get people in and not have to worry about people subscribing, unsubscribing, unsubscribing. And I would figure if they had any fucking brains, they would get rid of that 30 days free. Once you subscribe, they would get rid of that shit. Because I guarantee that is fucking them over royally, money-wise.
Yeah, because remember, I don't know if you guys remember, I think when the network first came out, and I might be remembering this wrong, didn't you have to pay like the first 6 months up front?
Not that I remember. I think he had was it 2 months up front?
It was an amount, Antox, I know you're in the chat, help me out. There was an amount there was a fixed amount that you had to pay up front.
I don't remember that. I will say I've had the network since it was out. I've got it on auto pay, and I've never shut it off. So I just pay every month, whether I like it or not. Look, but like I've said, I think it's worth it. For $10 for a pay-per-view we all used to pay $50 and $60 for. Yeah, I'm all right with that.
It's only $9.99, Marvel.
That's right, $9.99, brother.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, pretty much. If all you use it for is the pay-per-views, you're still getting your money's worth.
Right, and that's mostly all I use it for. I don't have time to watch anything else. So
come on, Bob. You don't have time to watch Holy Foley or Bella's reruns or
no,
I'm too busy for TV.
No, I'm too busy shaving my balls. That's what I'd rather do besides watch all that shit.
Or Legends House, even though half the cast is okay. Well, never mind.
Jesus, I might turn on Bad Company again and start doing strip bar voice.
Just an hour and a half of that. Strip club announcer ASMR.
Just a bad 2-hour show.
Coming up next, you won't return my calls, Mercedes.
Don't remind me. Good God, those are... Whew. But anyway, yeah. I really don't have a problem with them doing it. Like I said, I think this might actually get them more subscribers. From what I just read, they're down to like only 1.5 million. So,
which has to be a disappointment because what is the network on year 6? You got to figure like they were expecting way more subscribers by now. I mean, and it's like clockwork. They'll spike for like between Rumble and Mania with the people that are like you said, sign up. Then like once Mania season's over, they'll cancel.
Yep.
So and literally, yeah, it's like they got to get rid of that 30-day free trial. They screwed themselves time after time after time. Like if by chance they present like a pay-per-view that hey, I want to check out Money in the Bank this month. I know what I'll do. I'll set up a dummy account, stay logged in long enough to keep that shit, and then cancel. As a matter of fact, you don't even have to wait the full 30 days. You literally can sign up and then cancel and still have access to the shit for like a month.
Crazy.
And either
shit.
download or, watch whatever you want to watch within that 30 days and you'll be set.
Yeah, then sign up again and cancel again and do the same thing over and over again. For all it is setting up a new email, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah, that's ridiculous, man. They really should be getting rid of that. But I don't know. Like I said, I mean, I pretty much just watch just for the pay-per-views. That's pretty much what I got the network for, and I still think it's worth it. Even if, I mean, I've watched other shows. I mean, I watched Legends House and a couple episodes of this and that, but I just don't have much time. But when the pay-per-views are on, I'm right there. So,
what about you, Smark?
Well, of course, I pay every month for their top quality product. I don't at all, I have no idea how anyone would be able to like search Bing for like a random credit card number generator and, things like that. I've never heard of such things. So of course, being the good citizen that I am, no, I think the thing about it is, though, really is like, it's sort of a cycle. Like, there's less and less people watching, so there's less and less people that are getting the network, and the product isn't as good, so there's less incentive to give them more money or more time.
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, we'll see how this goes for them in the long run, but I think it might be good for them in the long run, just to give people a little taste, and then hey, if you want more, guess what? Sign up for it. It's either gonna have a lot of people on the free one, which they're gonna be like, we have the exact same amount on the free one that we do on the regular one. Something's going awry here.
Yeah, I guess it kind of basically like depends on what the type of fan you are.
Right. If
you're a hardcore fan, they're gonna continue to get your money because you're gonna want access to the legacy content. If you're more plugged into the current product, which God help you if you are, the free side might be enough for you. Because like I said, the Raws only go back about a month or so.
Right.
So it's like, if you want to catch up on, let's say, like, I don't know, April and like part of May they're on there, that might be enough for you. Yeah. But I guess it goes to show that I thought the legacy content would be enough to kind of keep the network going. But I guess like if you're not tuned in, if you're not engaging people into the current product, it kind of like dissuades them from wanting to pay, even though it's only $10 for that network. People are so turned off by the current product that they like. Yeah, y'all keep the network. I can if I really want to watch the older stuff. There are means.
And I mean,
YouTube.
just in general, though, like everything else that they have to compete against, like there's so many streaming options now. You got Disney Plus, you got ESPN Plus, all the blanketed in there. You got Hulu, Netflix, Spotify for music. You got all kinds of, and fucking the people that want to pay $80 to see Sonny's butthole. You've got all kinds of fucking options for streaming services and entertainment.
Yeah.
They're not just competing against themselves or other wrestling companies. They're competing against all kinds of multimedia options.
What they should do is just be like, look, you guys want to see what it was like with a crowd. You got to pay for that shit.
And hey, you just had HBO Max.
Yeah. I believe that. Yeah, are they still
guys
free?
Have any interest? Do you guys have any interest in that whatsoever?
No.
Not really. There's some HBO shows that I would like to catch up with, but there's other ways of doing that. They're selling primarily their big draw right now is Friends and The Big Bang Theory, and I've just never really been into either one.
I could probably go without watching Friends. Literally, all you have to do is turn on like fucking Nickelodeon at fucking 8 o'clock. Friends marathon every night.
I mean, I don't mind watching it. Hearing it is the unfortunate part.
Right. Yes, exactly. But I don't know. I guess we'll see what happens with that. But all right, guys, let's jump into something else here. We didn't mention this, and I'm kind of surprised we didn't, but Ric Flair did sign a new deal with WWE. But it did not come at a low price. He actually surrendered the rights of the man, the patent, the trademark office. He handed everything over to WWE that had to do with that right there. He had all that trademark and everything, and he just let them take it.
Yeah, this is a man who knows he's at the end, and he just is doing whatever he can to get a couple bucks. Jesus. I guess it is what it is at this point. I mean, I feel like Flair is probably, but he does a better service to the name anyway when he's under WWE employ. So why not give him the rights to it anyway?
Yeah, but I mean, if you remember, they had that TMZ thing where he was like, they're gonna have to over my dead body, blah blah. Well, you ain't dead, and they got it now, buddy. So.
Yeah, that was during that weird period where, like, he didn't give a fuck, right? He was talking shit on Shawn. He was talking shit on everybody. I'm like, where the fuck did this come from?
He was drinking. Yeah, so now WWE now owns the rights to that whole trademark of the man. So I don't know what they're going to do with it, with Becky being out for motherhood. But I guess we'll have to figure it out. You guys go ahead and talk while I do a shot.
Well,
thank you,
since
babe.
we're talking about Flair, cheers, by the way, Box and Mrs. Box.
Cheers, gentlemen.
So we do have a new Flair documentary coming on the network this Sunday. The Final Farewell. I think it's one of those 24 specials. So I'm pretty sure they're going to pump out some more Nature Boy merchandise featuring that tagline, The Man.
Oh, yeah. There's always T-shirts. There's always DVDs, documentaries, video games, all kinds of shit that you could slap it on.
I could actually see him doing more of the Becky merchandise now that she's going to be gone a little bit to keep money rolling in for her. I could be wrong, but that's kind of what I see him doing. I don't think they're going to give Ric Flair anything on this man shit anymore.
They'll do both.
We'll see.
Plus, I figure, I mean, you can say, well, WWE is shitty for doing it, but Flair's kind of like, shitty for allowing himself to be put into this position. But that's called poor life choices.
I could just
to be fair, honestly, I think they've done a pretty good job of like shielding him from certain things. Because there's a lot of stuff that he did in the past that just miraculously nobody talks about. And I feel like that's partially their doing.
Well, I mean, I believe at one time they paid his back child support for him.
Mm-hmm.
I think didn't Vince loan him like almost like $100,000 because he owed the IRS.
IRS, they took care of that for him. Yeah. Now, can you just imagine this deal going down and them just kind of looking at him and being like, "Look, you want to work for us. You love us, but we need that man shit, brother."
Or just looking at like, motherfucker, no, you should be kissing her. As much shit as we done got you out of over the years, and come to think of it, it is kind of like an anomaly. Flair is not a WWE creation. He's not a Vince McMahon creation. Mm-hmm. It kind of makes you wonder, like, what is it about Flair that he seems Teflon to where, I mean, like I said, they haven't always done right by him, but for the most part, on a personal side of things, they've always done right by him. Maybe character-wise on television, they haven't always done right by him, but behind the scenes, just as a man, they've looked out for this man well beyond what another grown man should do for another grown man.
Yeah, but
so I've always been curious about that. Is he really that charming of a son of a bitch?
No. Name value, a legendary name in the wrestling business, and WWE wants every wrestling name related or somehow tied into them. And I think that's what they're just kind of. I think that's why they've always just kept him around. I mean, they drag that guy out there with colostomy bags. They don't give a shit.
I don't even mean that. I just mean just historically, like they brought in Dusty. They didn't book him as the American Dream. They booked him as the common man with the polka dots.
Oh,
they fucking changed Luger. Like literally, Barry Windham. They booked him like shit.
Well, they should. I mean, let's face it. They should have booked Luger as a clown anyway.
But I'm just saying, like out of all of the WCW guys that kind of like stepped on, stomped out, Flair always managed to escape all of that shit. And you would think he'd be like numero uno at the top of the list to repackage, undermine. Yeah, you weren't that big of a deal, but they pretty much kept his legacy intact. They didn't even give Hogan a type of send off, and that they gave Flair. Like seriously, like no other wrestler will ever get that type of send off. And then he, went to TNA and kind of pissed it all away. But that's another argument for another show.
And then they took him back right away as soon as he was free. So I don't know.
Amazing. Amazing. And then that whole shit where he basically he went while he was still under contract to TNA, he went back to WWE to get inducted into the Hall of Fame. Like, how many people can get away with that shit? Because I guess basically TNA said, he's gonna do what he want to do anyway. He would have risked a lawsuit. Like, sue me for I've been sued a bunch of times. Yeah. It'd be like that famous promo with Bischoff. Fire me. I'm already fired. Sue me. I've been sued a bunch of times anyway, bro. What the fuck you gonna do to me?
Be like Rocky V. Sue me for what? Remember when he punched out that? Yeah. Okay. Anyway.
No, but jokes aside, I'm semi happy just for the fact that on his own, I feel like that name, that trademark is more valuable to WWE than Flair because they can do more with it. There's only so much Flair could do with it on his own.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. And I mean, I guess he wasn't doing much with it anyway, was he? I mean,
you could do like a T-shirt here, T-shirt, but WWE, at least they got, like I said, they got the media. They can do T-shirts. They can do action figures. They own all his footage except for the TNA shit, which, let's be honest, they're not crying over that shit. They own the prime Flair footage.
Well, everyone does. I mean, Jesus.
I mean, let's be honest, outside of the Jay Lethal promos, I mean, there's not much of that TNA run that's worth owning.
Nah, we can just go on YouTube and get those. It's no big deal. That ain't a big deal at all. We can just go on YouTube and grab that shit. But yeah, I definitely thought that was kind of just a weird thing though with Flair, and I don't know. Like I said, I'm just kind of imagining how that whole negotiation went down, and you could just see Flair sitting there shaking his head like, I guess I got to do it.
Yeah, I mean, hell, because I remember reading Charlotte was actually pissed at him about that too.
Yeah, Yeah. Oh, well, when he was talking all the shit about WWE back on TMZ and shit.
About talking about suing them for the trademark for the man, because she tight with. Obviously, she has a good position in the company. She didn't want that fucked up, and also, her and Becky are like BFFs.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So, yeah. I mean, obviously, that he was putting her in a bad position, but I think she was okay. I think she's fine with it now, obviously, but. I don't know. I got no more on that. You know what? You guys want to do Raw or AEW? Because honestly, I've got two more stories that both tie into AEW. And that's really all I got for news, unless Anthony and Smark's got some stuff to add to that.
Have you guys heard about the Vince McMahon email?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys think of that? I mean, do you think it's pandering 101? Because I don't know, man. And I'm not even, we can kind of lump all, not so much AEW, even though I do think Tony Khan is funny for banning the Hogans from ever attending any type of AEW event.
Well, and that was one of my stories. I guess we can go ahead and bring that up. The reason he did that, by the way, shall I read Linda's wonderful tweet here?
Oh, please.
Please. Okay. Linda Hogan, excuse me. Sorry.
Same thing, same tribe.
Linda Hogan was just for some reason decided to tweet this on May 30th. Watching the looting. It's all Afro-Americans. Not sure how robbing and stealing set the record straight, but if they want to be heard, they need to be civilized. Tony Khan took him a few days, but he did say... this was yesterday he said this. You've now joined your husband in being banned from all AEW shows. Congratulations. First of all, I believe he meant ex-husband. And I don't know what channel she's watching, but first of all, who in the hell still calls them Afro-Americans, by the way?
Yeah.
What year is this? This is 2020, right?
That was my first thought. Is like, wow, like she might as well have just called them colors.
Jesus.
Yeah. I mean, yet another reason how anybody can still support that orange fucking bastard after all of this shit. Look, like, do you see the type of negativity and toxicity he puts into the universe?
Well, I'm not gonna. I don't know if Linda Hogan has anything to do with that, but I don't even think he's ever called them Afro-Americans.
Oh, no, not even that, man.
But...
making people too bold, man. Like that was just that was an ignorant ass comment to make.
Well, and I was gonna save Sonny for Friday.
Oh, that piece of shit.
No.
Come on, I need space between pieces of shit.
Yeah,
we'll save
before we talk about her. Like one thing I realized outside of the fact, just why would you start off by calling them Afro-Americans? Like, you know that's not the best term you could use.
No, and by the way, whatever channel she's watching is definitely not showing the right shit, because it's not. I see every race out there, 100%. Granted, they all have masks on, but you can see most of them have short sleeve shirts. It's fucking hot outside. You can see who it is. I see every fucking race out there. I don't know what she was thinking doing this. How fucking ridiculous. But...
Another thing that's just kind of weird to me is, like, I didn't realize it until I was, like, looking at her and her little Twitter avatar, and there's another picture of her that, like, came out as a headline for one of the articles or links. How weird is it that she basically just looks like a female version of him? And then their daughter looks like another female version of him, and he does, like, the weird shit with his daughter, and it's just, like, the whole family is just a little bit fucking creepy.
Yeah, they're all a little... Yeah, somewhere there's like 25 pictures of Hulk Hogan acting wrong with his daughter. It's like, what? Huh?
And look, administering sunscreen is very important, but there's other ways of doing it.
The putting sunscreen on her ass was a little weird. Him promoting her nude photo for PETA was a little weird. And so on. We could keep going.
Yeah, it's weird. Well, all I know is it's just like he has a type, clearly the Hulkster has a type.
His type is him. He wants to fuck himself, literally.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and I'll tell you, like you said, the wife he has now, or the girlfriend, I don't know what she is anymore, looks just like his daughter. They could be sisters.
It's so weird. Like of all the things, all the like testaments to his ego and how ridiculous it is, that's like just the most outlandish one. It's like he just specifically gets off on people that look like him, and I don't even mean from like a tone perspective, because clearly he likes to stay within the tribe, as you put it earlier.
Yeah. Just tone, just a tone deaf response to a lot of tone deaf responses. If anything about this entire ordeal has taught me anything, it's that I no longer want to follow professional wrestlers on social media. Nothing good comes out of their fucking mouth. Nobody thinks before they hit that ever important send button anymore.
Yeah, and
nobody looks at this shit they type. Should I really send this right now? Just fucking a lot of tone deaf ignorance over the past 2-3 days.
Yeah, and we will get into the Jackson Riker thing on Friday. I'm not dealing with it tonight. Sorry, guys. We'll get into that Friday, though. But I just don't feel like getting into it tonight. We have enough bullshit to deal with this and Clutch Adams that I can't even read half of what Clutch Adams said. But we will get into that for when we get into AEW.
So, before I got sidetracked, as usual, what did you guys think about the Vince McMahon email that he sent out to all talent, basically about racial sensitivity, and if you have any issues and concerns, you can bring them to the company. They have their own little hotline, special email set up. They got diversity classes. Like, man,
$1.99 a minute for this hotline.
If only Mean Gene was around to shill the fuck out of that shit.
I would doubt Vince McMahon wrote that, but it might have come from his email, but someone just sent it to him and said, "Here, Vince, send this out."
Well, clearly he signed off. He had to sign off.
Well, of course, and I'm sure he was sitting there like, well, I don't even know what half this stuff means, but let's do it.
Right.
But I did read most of it. I didn't read the whole thing, but maybe he did. But look, it's good. WWE is at least trying to help their employees, trying to do something good for them. So I'm not going to sit there and shit on it. They're trying. I really can't shit on a company for trying. You know what I mean?
Yeah, put it to you. I'll give them more credit than I say Impact Wrestling. They put out a statement. And to the best of my knowledge, did anything ever come out of that Tessa Blanchard situation?
No.
I don't recall them even acknowledging it.
No, it just sort of died out. Well, COVID hit and it died out.
Ooh, caught a break on that one, didn't you?
Ooh, man, love when the media cycle takes care of itself, don't you guys?
I didn't fuck that. Fuck the media cycle. I didn't forget that shit.
Come on, guys. We put a belt on Moose. What more do you want?
I know. I mean, come on. Wait a minute. Did Tessa bring over COVID to get out of? No, I'm just joking. I'm joking.
Oh God, oh boy.
No.
Okay, so I think what they're doing is that they have their own Impact belt, and then they have a TNA belt that they brought back, and they gave it to Moose. So essentially, what they're saying is that they have two separate but equal belts. Shame on them. Shame on them.
Oh, so wow. We'll see what she says when she gets back.
She's not gonna be happy about it.
No.
This whole thing about the email, though, it's cool of them to offer, because it says 24/7 mental health counseling to anyone who feels they need assistance. Very good. That could default them to a slightest amount on that. That's very good that they're offering. But the thing they said is specific email address for anyone who works for the company that wants to directly address diversity concerns and bring them to the company's attention. Like, it's good and bad. It's good that they're trying to at least be like, hey, if we do something fucking stupid, let us know about it. But at the same time, it also kind of does just seem like it's like, well, Don't go bitching about us on Twitter anymore, please.
And here's, I don't know. Look, I might be reading this wrong. I've never considered WWE a racist company. I considered them a tone deaf company.
Okay.
WCW was more fucking racist than WWE ever was. Like, to me, there's a difference between ignorance and being like tone deaf to how something comes across and just being blatantly racist. When you have Ole Anderson blatantly telling a black man, hey, you'll never amount to shit in this business, followed by some colorful language, yeah, that's a problem. That's what we call systemic racism in the wrestling business.
Yeah.
And I mean, and like, obviously, like, are there people in the company, Michael Hayes, I'm looking at you, that have racial biases with some things? Absolutely. But do I think the company as a whole is racist? No. I think that's an ignorant thing to say or think.
Yeah, it's been long enough. I mean, if they were, I don't know if they would have lasted as long. I mean, if they were hardcore, they wouldn't have lasted as long as they were, as they have. Maybe, but I tend to doubt it. They wouldn't have people that are dying to come back at any drop of the fucking hat. So no, I think that's a good kind of a good way you put it. Was they're a little tone deaf. I kind of like that. I think that's probably the best way to say it.
And this actually ties, since we're talking about this topic, this segues perfectly into Nia Jax, who is taking some heat. In addition for being, just fucking horrible in the ring, she's being accused now of being racist because, you see, they did a little segment on Raw where she talky like da blah blah blah. She kind of made a mockery of the fact that you can't always understand what Asuka and Kairi Sane are saying. So let's start off with that one. Do you think the woman was racist in that statement, or do you just think once again it was just kind of tone deaf and how that would come across?
Bad attempt at heel heat. Could I just say that? I think that's what that was. It was a bad attempt at some heel heat. I don't.
So you don't think there was any malicious intent behind it?
I don't think so. I think some of the heelish jokes in that company are just way outdated. I don't know why Nia wouldn't have said, that's not exactly appropriate for 2020.
Especially since she herself is, a minority.
Yeah.
But, I guess them checks got to clear for everybody.
Yeah. I just don't see why she wouldn't have said something. I mean, look, it just doesn't make sense to me. But definitely outdated. And she's not a fucking comedian. Let's face it.
Yeah. I'm more offended at the fact that it just wasn't funny.
That too.
But I'm sorry, Smirk, you were saying, I ain't gonna cut you out there, bro.
No, you said she's not a comedian. I was saying she's not really a wrestler either, but neither one, she hasn't been stopped at either attempt.
Well, there's two things she can't do well, so now we know.
What are your thoughts?
She'll be in a family comedy for them next month.
Yeah.
But what are your thoughts on the whole Nia gate, Mark?
In regards to the promo?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, there's a lot to touch on, literally. Oh, boy.
She does have a lot to touch on. That is very correct, Smart.
Honestly, I got to be honest. I hate to say it, but I actually didn't see the promo.
Mm-hmm.
I saw kind of a truncated version of Raw. So I did catch the match. I made sure to watch the match because that was where I was seeing most of the discussion was coming from. I'm not really I really don't want to comment too much on the actual promo. I'm going to say there was potentially, give her the benefit of a doubt that maybe she was just alluding to the kind of frantic delivery that they have during their promos and not so much the way that they pronounce things, hopefully. But like I said, I didn't see it, so I can't really say. The match, though, oh boy. Like, as much as we talk shit about Nyla Rose, and deservingly so, because she's been downright fucking unwatchable at times, she hasn't really hurt anybody, or at least recently. But, like, Nia, she's just fucking racking them up, boy.
Uh-huh.
Every couple weeks, every couple months, she had a move banned. And she followed that up by cutting one of her opponents due to just kind of negligence.
Now, and look, we could say maybe she was brought up too soon, but admittedly, I didn't watch NXT a lot during her time on that show. But the times that I did watch, I don't remember her being this bad. What happened? Like, she wasn't necessarily great on NXT, but she wasn't hurting people. You think it's nerves? Do you think it's just, I don't know, the fact that she just forgot her lessons? Like, what the fuck? It just seems like ever since she got called up, she has a fucking hit list going. And the thing of it is, it's not like she's 36 now. It's not like she's going to get better as she ages.
Yeah.
You know, being that big. I mean, I'm sorry, I don't mean to offend nobody, but being that size, joints, it's not good to carry around that type of weight. And honestly, atrophy, she's not going to improve in the ring, which means she's just going to progressively get sloppier and sloppier is what I'm getting around to.
Very
so
true.
She's not going to get better. If she's not good now, and she's already been wrestling almost a decade, she's not going to magically improve in the ring.
No, she's not. And I just, and obviously we're talking about she threw Kairi Sane into the stairs, and there were pictures going around. We did see Kairi Sane's head was pretty fucking deep gash at in the top of her forehead there. And I guess from what I'm reading, even she's not blaming Nia, but it looked like Nia just threw her really hard and she couldn't stop to me.
Now, yeah, I mean, I've heard like she slipped, she was clumsy with. No, I put all of that on Nia. Now, admittedly, they did edit that spot to cover up for the blood loss. So I wish we could see this unedited to get a better grasp on what happened. But even with the benefit of watching this edited, you can still like Kairi Sane compared to Nia is not a big woman. So when you're that big and you're working with somebody that tiny, you kind of have to be a little more ginger. Yeah, you have to. Now I'm not saying treat him with kid gloves because she's a wrestler too, but right. I'm just saying you have to use a little more care when you're that big.
Well, know your strength. Jesus Christ, what is that? Georgian of Mice and Men, who pet the fucking, what was it, the mouse until it died because he didn't know his own strength. It's kind of it's kind of how I feel about Nia sometimes. She just doesn't know her own strength, and maybe she gets too excited, maybe she doesn't. I don't know, but yeah, I wish we could see the and you could see the look on all the quote unquote crowd's face, the NXT and PC people there. They were like a gasp. They were like, oh, that didn't look good.
Like, bitch, I'm never working with you. This one blind shit. She had like the perfect Karen face. Like, keep me away from her.
Yeah.
Like, no, but I mean, it was just, I don't know, man. Like, at what point, and I mean this in all sincerity, at what point do you address these issues? It's not, I forgot where I read it at, but somebody was kind of like getting on the fact that WWE basically banned the buckle bomb because of the Nia botch. Mm-hmm. But at what point do you look at the person performing the move? The thing with Seth, you can kind of chalk them up to freak accidents because Seth Rollins, you can say a lot of things about the dude, but he doesn't have a reputation for being reckless in the ring with people and hurting them.
No, and I mean,
like I said, the thing with Sting was an unfortunate deal, and the thing with Balor, I just chalked it up to just like bad night at the office for both guys, just like something that was maybe missed time. But it's not like this dude got like 5, 6, 7 bodies that he done racked up or hurting them in the ring.
No,
but the Nia thing, man, it's just like we're getting to a point where this is not going to end bad. This is going to end very poorly. Do you think that it's time to just cut bait? So we're not talking about a more tragic situation with her on this show?
I don't know. And D-Large says that Nia should be watching Jessica Havoc, bigger woman that ain't killing people. I'm still confused on when Jessica Havoc's anti-Semitism and racism just went away and no one cared about it. Did that just go away? No one remembers that anymore?
I remember it, but she's so low on a totem pole of wrestling. That it's, people just probably like, it's no big deal. I mean, she's not going to get signed by any reputable company like ever. So people just was like, fuck it, let her ride away on the indies.
I'm just saying, it's like no one brings it up anymore. It's like everyone forgot she was, tweeting the N-word and, Nazi salutes and shit. No one remembers? Just me?
Yeah,
okay. Sorry.
No. Well, some new video surfaced. I don't know if you had that on your itinerary.
No.
Of Excalibur and one Kevin Owens dropping some in.
Hold on, I
actually forgot about this.
I want to ask you, I want to first figure out how to speak English.
I have that. I do.
No, what I was going to ask is this video footage, is this back during the PWG days? Because I just recently resaw. There was an angle that they did basically where he was cutting a promo on Human Tornado and Generico, and he used some rather unsavory language that I don't really wish to repeat.
Well, I have it, so no one has to repeat it if you'd like to hear it.
Sure, that'd be a lot better.
Yes,
to answer your question, Spark, it was a PWG show.
Well, number one, Kevin Owens is skinny-ish. Not skinny, but he's much smaller than he is now, so that should tell you something.
I was going to say,
a whole other weird discussion because like everybody gives hero shit for that, but we all just kind of accepted it for Owens or Steen at the time, where he's just like, yeah, guy just gained 50 pounds, huh? Shit happens, I guess.
Well, you know what it is though, Owens. Even when he was skinny, he never really was a body guy.
No,
fucking Chris Hero he got himself in incredible shape at one point. And to go from the shape that he was in to what he became, that's a big fucking leap. Well, I mean, with Owens, like if he gains, like he basically had like the what would you call it box, like the beer belly, like the dad gut.
Yeah. I mean, he was just a heavier set guy.
Yeah,
and Chris Hero did get in great shape when he was in the tag team with it was with Claudio Castagnoli, Cesaro, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right.
Kings of Wrestling.
Right. He went from ripped to round. It was amazing.
Literally, he waited till he got signed to let his body go to shit. So he basically went in the opposite. Normally, after you get signed, it takes some time for you to get in that type of shape. He said, "No, fuck that. I'm eating well, bitches."
Yeah. So, all right, let's listen to this. Whatever. Let's listen.
Super Dragon. You think you can replace myself and Disco Machine? Not a fucking with a finger and a fucking nigger? Does the N-word offend you, nigger? You made the right choice. And hey.
Okay, so that was that.
Mid-2000s were a different time.
I don't even know if this was acceptable back then because the whole crowd was like, "Oh," and Human Tornado does not look happy. And I like Human Tornado actually. I actually think he's I know he's a comedy guy. Obviously not here. He wasn't. I know he's a comedy guy, but I do actually like him. I really do. I always thought he was talented. Loved him in what was it?
Wrestling Society X?
Yeah, WSX, Wrestling Society X. I did. I thought he was great in there. So, but
I will say about that in particular, I always feel like he suffered a lot actually, because nowadays you're in a position where if you do a couple of funny things or have a couple of memorable moments in one of your matches or a series of matches, you could easily turn that into a career. And he was like one of the first guys that was, at least amongst just kind of the wrestling community, getting these big viral, videos, moments, clips from his matches, because there's like he was doing the Michael Jackson stuff, and just a whole bunch of other things. The whole, like one of his matches with Blackout where he does the whole thing with the head to the crotch and he does a series of it. But yeah, anyways, like I feel like if he was around now, like he would definitely be signed somewhere. It would have been a much bigger deal than he was back because he could wrestle. He was a good wrestler. He was a good flyer. He always got some good height on his jumps. He do a fucking incredible tope, but that's besides the point.
Yeah, and I thought he did comedy well. I just, like I said, I thought he was an entertaining guy, and I thought he did comedy well, and always had fun watching him. And I did always like watching those little, like you said, the Michael Jackson and the head to the crotch spot that he did. Comedy, yes, but always thought he was funny and played it off very well, and never had a problem. I thought he was really good, but that was kind of a crazy promo. I hope that doesn't come back to bite Kevin Owens in the ass.
Nah, I feel like I think he'll be fine,
bro.
And I think he'll be fine,
dude. Kevin Hart got fucking booted from the Oscars for a tweet fucking 8 years back. I mean, shit happens, dude. I mean, you just people are digging into your past, and shit does go down. I hope this doesn't do anything to him. I mean, I guess one of his saving graces is he wasn't the one on camera saying it. You couldn't see him saying it, so maybe he'll be like, "Oh, that wasn't me. That was the other guy." I don't know. I'm more not concerned, but do you think this would negatively impact Excalibur's status in AEW, just given that Tony Khan just put out that statement, because he basically drew his line in the sand about where he stands on like things. When he with the Hogan and with the Hogans. So you think that if this kind of got back to him, he'd be like, I mean,
or at the very least, pull him off TV.
Probably, I don't know if that'll even happen. I mean, JR is probably happier to work with him now, but that was a joke. That was a total joke. I just want to clarify, it was a joke. But I don't know, man. I really don't know. I hope this doesn't backlash on either one of them. It could. It could, man. Some people don't care how long it was. You said it. Doesn't matter when, where, or even the context sometimes doesn't matter.
I was just impressed with even though I wish it was under different circumstances, I was, weirdly impressed with the passion and the conviction behind Excalibur's words.
Actually, now that I think about it, he had a moment in CZW where he said that word during the promo.
Because I don't remember.
Yeah, do you remember Team Masturbation at all? Which is a fucking funny question to ask anybody. With him and Beef Wellington.
Vaguely. This had to be around 2004, 2005-ish?
Exactly, yes. I forget the exact promo, but he was talking about, it was fucking DJ Hyde and whoever he was teaming with. I can't remember that guy, but anyways, I guess they were having a feud, and he said that when he least expected it, he was going to get him, because he's going to wait until he takes like the fattest shit in his life, and then he's going to pop out the toilet and surprise, and you can finish the rest of that. But yeah, he uttered the phrase "surprise," and I'm actually surprised that hasn't come out, because I vividly remember that now. But that whole thing is weird, because it's like, in both contexts, like it was like, especially if you go back to the PWG thing. The PWG thing, like, by and large, Human Tornado and El Generico, they were a comedy tag team. They had like kind of comedic feuds. So like the need to pull that out during a comedic feud with a comedic tag team is like, yeah, why? And they did kind of do that a lot early PWG, because that was kind of they did a lot of like that was kind of Scott lost his stick for a while too, where he didn't like outwardly say like racial slurs, but there was like a promo where he caught somebody doing cocaine, and he asked him, he's like, "What is it? What are you, a Mexican?" And it was just like, ugh, not great at all.
Yeah, look, you never know. Tomorrow that could come out, and who knows what'll happen. But
I don't think it will, because I feel like he has kind of alluded to in the past that he has said some things that he wishes he wouldn't have. He's kind of owned up to it. It was kind of vague, I will say, but he has said that, he has said some things, done some things that he's not necessarily proud of. And I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if this gains enough traction that we kind of see him put out like a public apology on TV or whatever. But I think outside of that, you're probably not much is going to happen.
And I will say, in terms of Kevin Owens, I think he'll be fine. But I do find it kind of suspect that after he puts out, we're not going to get into it tonight, obviously, but after he puts out his statement of the Jackson Riker deal, all of a sudden this video magically finds its way to the public spotlight again.
Yeah,
because he was one of the vocal ones that basically called him out on some shit.
Yeah, and again, we will get into that Friday. We have enough racial bullshit to talk about tonight.
Sure.
Yeah. So you know what? Since we kind of got into Raw anyway, so I guess we should just keep going with it, right, guys?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, sure. I mean, I'm trying to think of the highlights. I mean,
well, I got to be honest. To me, there weren't many highlights. The first match was good with Aleister Black and Seth Rollins. The rest of the matches pretty much were screwed fuck finishes.
Mm-hmm.
So didn't really have much to go off of there. We got the only other highlight I saw was the Rey Mysterio thing where I guess now Seth Rollins is going to be going against Dominic. Guys, I got to ask you. Do you see Dominic turning on his dad and going with Seth after a few weeks? You got to let it build, but do you see it happening?
Yeah, I could actually see that, and do the emotional reunion next year when WrestleMania goes Hollywood in LA, Ray's hometown, and or his home state, I should say. Mm-hmm. Yeah, makes sense. They can get some if they play the cards right, they can get a lot of mileage out of that.
Yeah, I think Dominic could become one of the disciples. I know I'm completely speculating here, but it makes sense to me. It almost writes itself, which one every time I say it writes itself kind of worries me because it's so easy. WWE complicates it, which never makes for good storytelling. Just sometimes you just got to let it do what it's supposed to do. Let that organic shit go, or let it build, but I don't know, but that's just kind of where I see it going. That's kind of where I mean, let's face it, that's what I would do.
It's the practical thing to do, in my opinion, because he's already. I mean, look, this dude is already going to be under a lot of pressure being Rey Mysterio's son. So rather than bring him out the gate as Dominic Mysterio, hey, you're going to do all of this cool shit that your father did. No. You got to baby step him into that type of stuff. Mm-hmm. So I would almost start him off as a heel. So that way, you put him with Rollins where he doesn't have to do a whole lot. And then, as you said, like the story writes itself, he can wrestle like pretty much a methodical, basic ass style. Build up some heat. Learn how to work as a heel. Because isn't that what they always say? In order to be an effective babyface, you have to know what it is. You have to be a heel first.
Right. Yeah. And I don't know. I guess we will see real quick. Smark, what you got on that right there? What do you think? Think Dominic's going to eventually turn on Ray?
It seems like that's kind of the most logical course, which, like you said, it could definitely lead to them overcomplicating things. I got a little bit of a chuckle out of the Raw promo because I actually thought it was a pretty decent promo by Mysterio. But, Dominic just hasn't gotten to the point where he knows, where to pick up, emphasize words, kind of show passion, because he just kind of stays even tone the entire time, and it just gave me a little bit of a chuckle because he was like, "You said some pretty terrible things about my father," and Ray was like, "Son, calm down." I'm like, "Calm down? If you calm down anymore, you'd be asleep."
You said some pretty terrible. Calm down, son. Huh? What? Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, Dad. Sorry. Eye for an eye.
Oh, that I got a big ass laugh out of that one. That was like I guarantee he looked in the mirror, said, "Good line. That's a good one. That's the money shot, right?"
I'm going biblical with it. I'm going biblical.
That's good shit, son.
That's such good shit. Okay.
Still a better promo than his dad. I stand by that statement. But it still needs some work.
Yeah. But I'll tell you though, I haven't seen Dominic in the ring, but I'm interested. I'm definitely curious. So I'll be watching that shit. pretty closely. I think a lot of people will be.
He does a pretty sweet 619. I will say that much. And that we saw during the match with Mysterio at with Brock at Survivor Series last year.
Yeah. You got to ask y'all one thing. Shawn Michaels.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to see him like this with the big beard and the bald head.
No. Honestly, you know, it's comical to me.
What?
Back-to-back weeks, they've had Ric Flair and Shawn Michaels with a straight face try to sell Orton and Edge as the greatest pro wrestling match ever. Oh. I even got a hint of sarcasm. I even detected a hint of sarcasm from Shawn Michaels. You know, I know a little something about having good, great matches and all that, but man, that Orton and Edge is going to be the greatest shit ever. Man, this is
full on meta with it and just had him like thumbing through a big stack of dollars.
Yeah. Guys, keep going with that. Just give me like 30 seconds here. I don't know what the hell's going on out here. Give me a minute.
Well, that's an interesting note to leave on, I suppose. But yeah, that whole thing's like, I don't know. Are they making it too obvious that there's going to be some kind of a fuckery going on? Like, it seems like as much as they try to promote it as being like the best match of all time ever, where it just seems super obvious that there's going to be like some kind of finger poke of doom or some kind of just some way, shape, or form that it ends within like 5 minutes. Okay.
Yeah. Apparently, my son is watching. What was it coming on after AEW? Jack Reacher, and the car chase is on, and he's like amazed. Whoa! And I thought he was yelling at my wife. He's yelling at the car chase, which is kind of a proud moment for me right now. I'll be all right.
Movie show in 2 years.
Oh, yeah. He likes cop shows. I will tell you that. Both my kids like.
It's the only thing that's on TV. He doesn't have a choice.
Both my kids do like watching cop shows. They both like Blue Bloods. They do.
Yeah, I can just imagine you sitting down, just showing them flashcards with all those like celebrities that have been on NYPD Blue. Like it's like some 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon type training.
Dude, I don't even have to go 6 degrees half the time. I just, and you know, it's funny. I'm watching. My wife is watching that television show Rain. You guys ever seen that? By any chance, ever seen it?
Honestly, not at all familiar. Is that like a streaming show?
It is, and I forget what it's streaming on. But she likes all that, those Camelot and all those shows about the old days and shit. And she was watching that show Rain, and I'm like, man, that guy looks familiar. And I'm sitting there, and I'm looking. I go, oh, I know who that is. He was on an episode of Flashpoint, and he played a guy named Luke. And she goes, oh, you're full of shit. So she looks it up. He was on an episode of Flashpoint. His name was Luke. And she just looks at me and goes, you need help.
The Law and Order's tearing this family apart.
It's like, this is why I can't fucking do shit during the day, because my mind is full of absolute useless information. I need to figure out a way to turn this useless information into some fucking money for myself, is what I need to do.
I totally relate to that, because like I'll sit there and I'll watch a like nature documentary or some type of history documentary, and like I won't retain any fucking information, but I can tell you like every character that Al Snow has ever been, and it's frustrating. This is not useful for any type of public use. Like I can't chat somebody up that I just like, hey, so okay, first he was Avatar, then Shinobi, and then it's like, why are you walking away?
Yeah, and I mean, listen, I had one person I used to be able to talk to about NYPD Blue, and that was Russell Sabanailer, and used to talk to him about it all the time. He made me feel like I wasn't such an obscure human being for the shit I know about NYPD Blue. So, definitely.
As long as that show is on TV for you can't. There's probably plenty more like you.
There are, believe it or not, there are. There's more like me. I have found them in groups with NYPD Blue. I have found my people.
Before we came on, you had mentioned like you just kind of offhandedly, jokingly mentioned AA meetings. That's exactly what I'm picturing right now. Just like a fucking box of stale donuts off to the side on a table. Just a semicircle of chairs.
Yeah, bunch of fat guys. Yeah, I can see that. I mean, I ain't fat yet, but anything could happen. All right, back to Raw, I guess. Now that I completely just derailed the show. Sorry about that, but I just didn't know what all the screaming was about out there, and like I said, kind of made me proud. I walked out.
More to come, I'd imagine.
Yeah, walked out, shook my head, and went, "That's my boy." And but let's see what else did happen during this here. You had the Apollo Crews thing. Okay. Viking Raiders and Street Profits went bowling in this. These are becoming, how can I say this? These are becoming a complete waste of my time. And I have a feeling it's a waste of a lot of people's time. Chat room, is anyone in here really enjoying these segments, or are you just cringing at them like I am? And Smart, please. Anthony, I guess, had a internet issue. He's going through some storms out there in Philly, which, I mean, just what they need right now with all the other shit going down. But we'll get Anthony back in a minute. Sasha Baron Corbin is enjoying them. Sasha Baron Corbin, not helping your cause. You're a Baron Corbin fan, too. Really, not helping. Smart, what about you?
I mean, it is what it is. It's Hanson being loved, but Rose being hated. Well, there you go. Yeah, it's just with that. My feeling about that is like, it's kind of the worst place that you can be in because it's not really entertaining in the sense that you want to see it, again next week, or you want to see where they're going with it. And it's not really the type of bad that I think we're going to remember as being all-time bad. Like, it's not gobbledygooker levels of just, what the fuck is this? It's more of just like, it's kind of just something that you have to endure every week. And it's like, we're not really going to remember it being all-time bad, not going to remember it for being good. Just going to there's going to be a moment where we're at towards the end of our life cycle, and we realize that we wasted like 2 or 3 hours of our lives watching fucking people play mini golf and go bowling and throw axes and just whatever the fuck they're doing.
Yeah, I just think it's kind of, I don't know. Listen, I mean, if you're watching this going, I know there's an end in sight, it's not exactly putting over the segment. You know what I mean? That's not really enjoying it. It's tolerating it, like you just said. And Antox's exact word was he's tolerated them because he knew this was the last of the segment. But it's just not fucking good. It's not good to me. So let's see. Let me see where we're going to get Anthony back here. Are we going to get Anthony back here? God damn these phones. Fucking Face ID. His laptop locked. All right, you know what? His computer locked up.
There you have it.
Try to say 2 fucking L's after I've done a few shots. Leave me alone.
Try to say a few L's after a couple L's. I get it.
That was just lackluster. Yes, I did it. Okay. So
it's little victories in life that mean the most.
Yeah, there you go. And no, by the way, no, obviously we're not doing this match by match for Raw. Now, Smart, we got into this a little bit a few weeks ago, the Gronkowski thing, the fact that he is going back to football. He did have a little thing where he's not supposed to be taking any unnecessary risks in the off season. Wrestling, I would assume, would be one.
Yeah, actually, they kind of put that into contracts,
right?
Because there was a long time ago, back when the TNA was doing the weekly pay-per-views, that one of the Bears linebackers, Brian Urlacher, got involved, and he caught some major shit for that. Like, there was talk of like suspensions and like tracked lawsuits and just all kinds of shit. Basically, after Dennis Rodman did it, everybody kind of realized that we cannot have our players risking their health out here in wrestling shows. So like, you're really never going to see anything like what we saw with like Dennis Rodman and NWO ever again.
Right. And I could see that. I mean, listen, these guys are getting millions a year, and if they get hurt doing something that they're not supposed to be doing, why would they expect the NFL to keep paying them exactly? I mean, I'm sure some of them would, but I don't see why they would.
No, they're not trying to. The NFL can be a very cutthroat business, so they're not going to do anything that go out of their way to take care of players, as evidenced by quite a few lawsuits. But that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, and they did a little thing where Gronkowski was standing outside his house. He was doing a TikTok video or some bullshit. And there was a lawn guy over there turning mulch. And next thing you know, Gronk turns around and the cameraman has a referee outfit on for WWE, and the lawn guy is R-Truth. I mean,
the Bugs Bunny of pro wrestling, a true master of disguise.
Absolutely. I mean, let's face it. At least it, I don't know. At least the lawn guy wasn't like Andrade or something. That would have been horrible. Jesus, we didn't need that tonight, did we? Truth did.
Super creepy in there.
Yeah. Truth did take the title back though, and I think we all knew that was going to happen. And I think we all kind of again we knew eventually Gronk was going to be off TV, but I'm glad. I don't need to see him. I really find the guy an annoying, obnoxious prick. I'm sorry, I do.
So what you're saying is that you don't foresee, or you wouldn't want to see him inducted into the Hall of Fame?
I'll just know when I can go get drinks.
That's kind of the shitty thing, not to like overly to take this super seriously. It's just like, imagine he doesn't come cheap. Like, imagine the money that they spent on this guy, and I know that they didn't really foresee him coming back, which probably being naive on their part. But I just would like to know how much money they spent on him, and then that they ultimately ended up losing, basically, because he never really even wrestled. He just had that whole little segment that they did in WrestleMania. Then he signed with the Bucks, and then he dropped the title on Raw. So, like, after we were talking about all the people that they let go because of financial issues, alleged financial issues, the amount of money that they wasted on that guy versus the return that they actually got on it was just dreadful.
Yeah, not much of an ROI there, not much return on investment on Gronk at all. And I don't know, just take him and Cain Velasquez and think how much money they've wasted on those two guys, and think of the guys sitting on the sidelines right now who are released, and they're just going, maybe if you didn't waste your money trying to get a bump in the fucking, just try to get the mainstream media to cover you for this bullshit, maybe we'd still have fucking jobs.
Right.
Maybe. Anthony's back. Anthony, we're talking about the whole Gronk thing. I don't know if you heard any of that, but
I didn't.
All right.
Sorry about that, guys. Sorry about that chat room. Just technology. Sometimes it sucks.
Hey, we did whatever. I just kind of talking about the whole Gronk thing and how they spent money on him, and I just mentioned Cain Velasquez, and I don't know. I'm sure you saw the whole skit with Gronk and R-Truth, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'll say this about Gronk. He, bad verbiage to work with the side. He seemed like he was having a good time there. But ultimately it was a waste. But I can't even compare it to the Cain Velasquez thing just because at least Gronk's shit was just limited to goofy skits. So you really can't even say he really necessarily took away from anybody's spotlight or opportunity. They had him competing for the 24/7 title.
True.
A title they themselves they don't care about. So, I guess that's an apples and oranges type of argument for me. The Cain Velasquez, I would be more offended as a wrestler at the Cain Velasquez deal, because they literally brought him in as the top guy. And let's be honest, if he wasn't hurt, damn well that would have been the match of WrestleMania this year. Mm-hmm. If they had it their way, that would have been Lesnar's money match this year.
See the thing.
No, I ain't having anything to add to that.
Oh, well, what I was going to say about that is, and I was going to ask you about it a little bit, is like, I think the Velasquez thing really wasn't super bad, because at one point there actually was, there were people competing for his services. Like AAA used him. There was talk about him maybe going to AEW, maybe him signing up long-term with AAA, something like that. So there was a legitimate, I don't know for how much, but there actually was a bidding war going on. And, they ended up signing him, and they did end up using him, and it didn't pan out, but they at least had him in, like, matches, and they had him in feuds, or a feud. So, like, they at least tried, and they at least went through with the experiment, and they at least got a little something back, in the sense that they did have him competing in their ring and working a feud. The thing with Gronk, though, like we were just talking about, they had like a couple of segments on WrestleMania. He didn't really wrestle a full-on match. He was basically gone the entire time from WrestleMania until Raw, and it was over in a minute, basically. And think about the amount of money that they must have fucking wasted on getting him to be a part of their company, that they could have spent on any number of the people that they had to let go because of the whole financial issues that they were allegedly having.
Yeah, I mean, when you break it down like that, yeah, it is kind of fucked up. They could have used their resources more judiciously in that situation. But obviously he's going back to the NFL. Are you surprised, Smart? You're the football guy. Are you surprised that his wrestling foray didn't last as long? Because I know the guy's a big time fan. But do you think he kind of like maybe became like disenfranchised with the process? Like decided, I still like wrestling, but this ain't for me? Or what do you think led to his departure?
I mean, ultimately, the reason that ended up leading to his departure was just the whole thing about Tom Brady. Tom Brady going to the Bucs, and then he had the chance to play with his quarterback again and maybe win a championship or two more. It was a little bit interesting because towards the end of his NFL tenure, the first time, he looked like he was just in serious pain. He was like lumbering around, just didn't look like he had his legs about him. So it's kind of interesting, kind of surprising a little bit that he was coming back. The kind of stuff that those players endure on a week-to-week basis and then agree to sign up for again the next year. It's not super surprising that he's back, because they put themselves through some serious hell, but they don't seem to mind to do it.
Yeah, and I'm sure the money's not going to hurt.
No, absolutely not.
No.
He is one of the most marketable players in the NFL. Like, the story that I've heard, and it seems to be true, is that he's basically paying all of his expenses just on his advertising, the commercials and the deals he gets. He's not even touching his like signing bonus or any NFL contract money yet. So dude's doing well for himself.
Listen, I might think he's annoying and obnoxious, but I'm also not fucking naive enough to not realize the guy is he's a good-looking guy. He seems very personable. He is marketable, 100%. I'm not naive enough to not say that, but I just find him an annoying prick, and that's it. It means nothing.
Well, I don't know if it's just that it doesn't work in wrestling because there's so many outlandish personalities. Because like with him being in the Patriots, basically they were a very starch, button-down kind of organization. He was like wild party animal guy. So I guess the contrast is more visible there than when you get him on wrestling, and there's all these outlandish characters anyway. So I guess that's maybe why that didn't turn out right.
Right. Yeah. So, but
and I guarantee they don't regret a thing. Mm-hmm. They still have footage on him. He competed. He was a champion for them. And then it was a joke title, but when you look back on the history books, they can say he's one of their former champions. That's one of those things they can tell.
Yeah, and Sasha Baron Corbin is asking us what happens to Mojo now. I don't know. Unemployment, exactly. That's what. Yeah. To the you ain't getting paid window, baby. Woohoo!
As petty as this company is, could you? I think it'd be the funniest shit ever if he somehow caught heat for this. I thought you two was friends. The fuck was you doing? Like, why the fuck did you keep this guy under contract? I mean, I know we was lowballing him, but motherfucker, it was your job to keep him. It's your fault.
And they start having him act more like Gronk and then just job him out even more so.
Oh, God. Please, no more.
Call him Rock.
Ew.
Yeah, I mean, this is petty, dude. Like, I wouldn't be surprised, dude. Like,
Oh, God. Anyway.
After Jimmy Snuka got his shit, they actually replaced him with Samoan number 4. Brother, come on, give us a few brothers. You Samoan, right? Give us a few brothers. Yeah, that works.
You're Samoan, right? You can do a headbutt. All right, good. You have a hard head, right? Okay, good,
yeah.
good.
Yeah, cool. You got the Jerry curl going. Cool.
Nice.
Fuck Jimmy.
Nice. Very nice. All right. Once again, we got more Randy Orton, Edge promos. They're still good, but they're kind of cutting the same promo every week now, and I'm getting a little. Yeah, I'm good. I'm you know what? I'm good.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, the Edge promo was interesting because it was like a halfway shoot. You know, he said, I was a 5-tool player with this guy. I can get in the ring with Shawn and Cena and this one and that one. And notice I said all that stuff in the past tense. Where he basically implied that, yeah, I was good back then, but I'm not quite as good now. I don't know if I got your thought process on this, box, but what do you think about this whole greatest match stuff? Do you think they're kind of painting themselves, even if it's just hype? Do you think they're kind of painting themselves into a corner unnecessarily, putting too much pressure on these guys unnecessarily?
Yeah, because if this match sucks one little bit, it's going to fucking really be a fucking, it's going to shit on both these guys if it does.
Because under regular circumstances, I think both guys are capable of having a good match.
Well, it seems like they're trying way too hard to make up for the match that the internet shit on. If those two were happy with the match and thought the match was good, why do you give two flying fucks what anyone on the fucking internet is saying? Seriously. Really? Why?
In defense of Edge, here's a guy who basically was gone for like almost a decade and in a lot of ways could be risking serious injury coming back, and then you get online and that wasn't very good. I mean, everybody's entitled to their opinion, but just to play devil's advocate and look at it from his point of view, like, motherfucker, I've been gone almost a decade. I could be literally risking paralysis right now, and you had the temerity, you had the gall, Mr. Never taking a bump in your fucking life to critique my match.
Yeah,
and he'll never say it publicly, but that's probably what he was thinking when you read some of those comments.
And one line I did like by Orton, and I actually rewound it and typed out the line. I've half-assed it and still accomplished more than anyone else in the locker room. I did like that line. I was like, damn, everyone in the locker room right now hates you more.
Hey, look, is he lying? I mean,
no.
I mean, I know a lot of people will take shit. I mean, a lot of people will rightfully shit on a guy, but there was a good 3-4 year period where he was just coasting off the fucking name. Boring promos, boring matches. Every so often he'd give you a gem, but that basically it always depended on who he was in the ring with.
Yeah.
Like I enjoyed the matches with Christian, even though they became painfully predictable because Orton won all of them, or they bitched out. Yeah, but they were still good matches. But when you put him in there with like a Wade Barrett or a Sheamus or somebody that's not really going to motivate him, that's going to make him work, you're going to get lazy Orton.
Yeah,
it's not that he's a bad wrestler or anything, but he basically works to the level of his competition. Mm-hmm. If he's in there with somebody that he feels is worthy of the effort, he'll give you effort. If it's with somebody that's kind of like marginal or just kind of meh, you're going to get unmotivated Randy, which is not good for business in my opinion.
No. Smart, what do you think about that?
That's kind of the part about him that's kind of frustrating a little bit. Is like it's one thing if like you're trying and you just suck, you just don't get it for one reason or another in the ring or on the mic. But like with him, there's peaks and valleys. Like every so often he'll be really good and everybody will be behind him and it'll be super interesting. And then usually it comes when they turn him face, he just loses interest and just kind of peters out. And then 2 or 3 years later, he spikes back up in activity and does some interesting things. Because I was watching actually a couple days ago when he was doing my personal favorite thing that he's done, the whole shoulder injury update promos. Mm-hmm. Those are fucking phenomenal. Like it is amazing. Like he just does such an incredible job at just playing like a smug asshole. That like it was so incredible. It's so much fun to watch. And then even to like reinvent himself and to what he is now, and he plays that role pretty convincingly. It's a testament to what he can do when he's motivated. It's just when he's not motivated, it really becomes a chore to watch sometimes.
Yeah, it really does. And but like you said, even half-assing it, he accomplished more. Even when he's coming out there and he's boring as shit to us, WWE still loves this guy. And I got to tell you, even though, and I said this I was saying this when he was probably at one of his worst phoning it in, phases. And I said this on the THT show. The crowd still fucking popped for him, man.
So
he's just one of those guys that's like, he knows how to do his job.
Yep.
Well, that he can just afford to just not even try to do it and still just like the boss isn't going to yell at him. He could show up drunk if he wants to.
Probably has.
I got to try that.
So let me ask you guys this. I mean, he's been around over a decade now, so he's pretty much established as a veteran. Mm-hmm. After all these years of watching Orton, would you say he's lived up to his potential?
Wow, that's a hard one. Whose potential?
Just in terms of what he's fully capable of.
Yeah.
Even at his like, put it to you like this: if you can take Orton when he's at his absolute motivated best, do you think he lived up to what he's fully capable of in the ring, as a performer, on the mic, the whole bit?
Yeah, and that's why I think sometimes he got frustrated and started phoning it in. Because I think he was out there giving every fucking inch of himself out there. And, WWE was still John Cena. And I think that might have frustrated him a little bit, honestly.
Well, but to the company, but in defense of the company on this, which I'm surprised I'm actually saying this, you just got to look at temperament. It's because at the time that they were both on that rise, even though they were still like relatively young in their careers, Cena always came across as somebody that had a better temperament with people, that could handle that pressure, handle the spotlight.
Well,
Orton was he was fucking. I mean, he's evolved, he's grown up, he's matured since then, but he still gives across that vibe like he could give a fuck less about dealing with the public. Like when he's not wrestling, he doesn't want to do the Make-A-Wishes. He doesn't want to do the appearances. His time is his time. He just doesn't seem like he wants to go the extra mile. Well, so maybe that's why.
Maybe. But here's what I can actually appreciate about Randy. When we didn't give a shit about him, he didn't give a shit about himself either.
There is kind of a transparency to that.
I mean, I guess you can say you appreciate it, but at least he knows that he was phoning it in. I mean, I know it was part of the promo, but he seemed genuine in saying it. He knows he didn't give a shit, and we knew he didn't give a shit because we didn't give a shit because he looked like he didn't give a shit. What did I just say? Okay.
But dude, that,
right?
that has to be
Yeah. That's what I meant. Yeah.
No, both of you just made some excellent points there. But that has to be fucking demoralizing if you're a young guy on a roster doing everything you can to get noticed and come up, keep your nose clean, and you see this son bitch here literally does the bare minimum and gets every fucking thing. Every fucking thing.
Yeah, because he'll and
this motherfucker was winning 18. He was winning like 6-7 world titles at a point in time where he visibly did not give a fuck about what he was doing.
And I have a feeling that they don't really trust Randy to go on television shows and not say something ridiculous.
And I was talking to you guys about this like last week, I think it was, or before the AEW pay-per-view, of like, it kind of makes me appreciate what it is that Cena does, what it is that Miz does, because like, I love Moxley, but he was on a local TV show to like promote, via Skype to promote the pay-per-view, and he just like, and it's part of the reason I love him, but it's part of the reason why when he was in WWE, him being a top guy didn't necessarily work, because he just didn't give a fuck in the interview with the local TV station. And like, why should he? But like, he was just completely looking out the window at like what his dog was chasing in the yard, and just like, he just couldn't give less of a fuck. And he was out there trying to promote the pay-per-view, and it's just like, ugh. I could definitely see that being Orton, where it's like, okay, you're supposed to be here to promote your initiative or the show or whatever, and it's just, you see him occasionally looking at like the interviewer's boobs or whatever, and just not giving a shit.
Well,
yeah. You know what it comes down to? You have to be a lifer. Like, I mean, not even a lifer. You have to be willing to sell bullshit at any and all costs. There's a reason why Cena made it to the top. There's a reason that Hulk Hogan can keep his name out in the public. That they never turn it off in terms of their public personas. When a camera's on, they know how to sell. True. Like, whereas when they're not working, Orton, Moxley, they seem like I don't want to say they don't care about wrestling, but it seems like they're more preoccupied with their personal time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I care about my dolls, I care about my kids, my wife, that I don't, when I'm not doing this shit, I don't want to, I'm not engaged in it. So like, when they do those things that's off the clock, it's kind of like, it's more of a bother than an obligation. Like, when you see Miz doing this shit, he seems like the happiest motherfucker. He could be tired as all hell, but whenever he makes an appearance, he seems like the happiest motherfucker on the planet. Like, there's no other place he'd rather be, man. And there's a reason, like I said, say you can shit on the guy all you want. There's a reason why he will be a lifer for that company, because they know they can count on him.
Look, man, I've said before, you can shit on Miz all you want, and I've called him a workhorse, and everyone's like, how do you call him that? Because he will go out, he will do the media, he will do everything no one else wants to do, and the company can trust him to go out there and be the guy that's going to toe the company line, put over the company, and do the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I consider him one of the workhorses.
Oh, it's gonna sound batshit crazy, but if like we were doing a draft in terms of people to build a company around, he would be probably top 5, top 10 people, because he's so fucking good at that.
Yep.
At least as far as I'm concerned, and we got spoiled, I think, because back in the day, the person that I feel like did that the best was probably Savage.
Mm-hmm.
And we got spoiled because we got to see Savage being Savage on like Arsenio Hall and like fucking Regis and Kathy Lee or whatever the fuck,
Right.
And it's like it's toned down with the Miz, but he's really good at, for lack of a better term, being a shill.
Well, and you got to remember, this was you got to remember where he started. He started off on a reality television show, one of the early early reality television shows, Real World. The Real World 1. So, I mean, you got to remember, he's been in the spotlight, before, and he got tons of ridicule for being on that show because he was an annoying fucking asshole.
Mm-hmm.
But
and on the show, he was talking about how he was going to be a professional wrestler.
Absolutely, that was one of his kind of quote unquote gimmicks, and his name was The Miz.
Mm-hmm.
So he took, he's always had spotlight. He's always had the camera on him, and he's used to it. He kind of grew. It's weird to say, but he grew up in front of the camera.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, literally, we saw him grow up on SmackDown, literally reading off his hand, not being able to cut a promo, nor even introduce somebody. And then now he comes out. I don't know if maybe that embarrassed him so much to where he's like, I am going to eventually be the absolute best promo guy you've ever fucking seen. Is he? No. Can he go out there and cut a believable, entertaining promo? 100%. I think he can.
Just, two things to that point. And this is coming from somebody who's not the biggest Miz fan. I'm actually super proud of that dude's success, considering that he was part of that like last class of people that had to really go through like the hardcore bullshit behind the scenes in the locker room. And like I said, I've always rooted for the underdog, and you got to know there were so many people behind the scenes that rooted for that guy to fail, rooted against him. They did. I guarantee you, there was probably a coalition to run him out of the company at different points, and he stuck it out, man.
Dude,
and along the way, it's probably gonna piss a lot of people off, but he got good. Is he? What I put him in like a top 5, a top 10, but compared to where he was in say 2005, 2006, you're not being fair if you could look at Miz present day and not say he's not improved on the mic and in the ring.
Yeah, and I mean, let's face it, the guy was changing in the locker, not even in the locker rooms. They threw him out of the locker rooms. He's told stories of him changing in the bathrooms while fans are walking in. Yeah. Literally in the public bathrooms where the fans are walking in and out, and he has to get dressed in there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Horror story. Yeah, man. Google Miz locker room stories, and some of those stories. Some are funny. I ain't gonna lie. Getting kicked out the locker room for eating chicken over somebody's bag, but some of them are fucking terrifying. Jesus Christ! He went through some shit, and to see that he came out of it a better man on the other side, and to see where he's at in the company, you got to give credit where it's due on that. But the second point I was just going to make real quick, I want everybody listening to this to think of your favorite wrestler right now. And you think, why isn't so-and-so in a top spot? Why isn't he this? Why ain't he? Think about the discussion. Listen back to this discussion that we just had. Ask yourself, does that person fit into the mold of what WWE expects out of their performers in a top spot?
Right.
Beyond just because in order to be a top guy, and I think people got to get this out of their head, it's not just about who can do the moves. It's not just about who can go out there and have a 5-star man. Vince would gladly take a shitty wrestler with fucking charisma out the ass that he could market the fuck out of over somebody that can go in there and wrestle fucking 5-star matches night in and night out, night in and night out.
Right.
It's all about the marketability more so than the wrestling.
Yeah, and I did pull up something here, Anthony, about him being hazed in WWE. He went on Hot 97 and did I got a little 3.5 minute clip. You want to play that?
Sure. Miz on Hot 97 just tickles me. But
hey,
towards the end of the clip.
Miz is down with everybody, brah. So here we go. Let's go ahead and hit this right here. I didn't even start it yet, but here we go. God damn ads. Can't play that. All right, here we go.
Stir. Tonight, what goes down? Nassau Coliseum, Monday Night Raw. You know what you have tonight? Do you know what your match is tonight?
No, I don't actually, but it'll be the one that people will be talking about.
That's absolutely right. And like I said, classic wrestling venue. So I strongly recommend
Is that Rosenberg? That's Rosenberg he's talking to right there. Okay, that makes sense. Here we go.
The kids out tonight, Monday Night Raw, Nassau Coliseum. Should be a good time. And in addition to Miz, there'll be also, some other guys out there like John Cena, if that's your thing, Laura Styles.
CM Punk, Daniel Bryan, The Big
Miz.
Show, Randy Orton, you name it, we got it.
You get along with these people, these other guys.
Yeah, I do. I get along with a lot of them.
Oh, we have to ask him one thing. I'm sorry.
You just like a 14-year-old girl. You just acted like a 14-year-old girl.
Wait, when you hear what it was about, Ebro, you'll actually be excited about this.
I won't. Don't try to pull me into your bitch-assness.
Everyone's been so excited to talk about bullying. This guy, when he got started in WWE, what came from the real world, he was hazed to a high level by the old veterans who thought he had no place being in that locker room. However, you did not cry and quit the WWE.
No, I didn't. It was one of those things where I got kicked out of the locker room.
It made him change in the public bathroom.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. It was brutal, man. Like it was one of those. It was one of those situations where like I wasn't allowed in the locker room. So if I had to use a restroom, I had to use the one that all the fans would be using.
So you'd be in there in your skivvies.
I'd be in my like outfit, like going to the bathroom, and the kids would be like, "Oh my god, I think that's the Miz using the restroom right next to me." Like it was so embarrassing, but it taught me a lot. It made me a stronger person, and now I stand before you a former WWE champion, person that's going to be on ABC Family tomorrow at 7 p.m. doing Christmas bounty. So it's pretty awesome. It's one of those things that I rose above it and got through the bullying, and now I'm a better person.
So do you talk about this bullying thing? Is this like a
WWE has an anti-bullying campaign. It's called Be a Star. I go to schools all over the world, not just in the United States, but all over the world. I've been to Abu Dhabi. I've been to Germany, Australia. You name it, we've been there promoting kids to stop bullying.
See, I'm not. The bullying thing is lost on me a little bit. I do think that there are, obviously, when you're a kid, and it's a sensitive time, but the wussification of America is at a different level. Like, we all grew up with somebody making fun of us or going through something, and you just had to find it within yourself or within the people that cared about you to fight through those things.
Yeah, but
I think nowadays we give kids such an easy pass of like, I'm being bullied, they quit.
But I think a lot of other kids, maybe you were the cool kid in school, or you were the one bullying. Maybe that's because it was so easy for you. For kids that were getting bullied. I was
one of 5 black kids at an all-white school dealing with racism.
Oh, you were the cool kid then. You were the cool kid then.
They all want to say to you. By the way, Miz is back to his old ways of being a jagoff. He was a nice guy for like the last year and a half.
He's dressed very nice.
I know. I dressed in a 3-piece suit, and I'm the jackoff. I'm sitting here in a hoodie. And that's how you show up, and I show up in a 3-piece suit, but I'm the jack-off. Oh, that's nice.
You just got punked on your own program.
And from a guy who's
I'm not Ashton Kutcher either.
From a guy who's going to be on ABC Family tomorrow night, for God's sake.
What's wrong with ABC Family?
No, I'm saying,
that is an amazing...
All right. That's enough. But, all right. Basically what I just said.
That interview took a turn, and man, jump in front of that fucking shrapnel as fast as he could.
Miz seemed a little offended by that. Look,
I gotta give Rosenberg some cool points there, because that shit was about to go off the rails very quickly.
Miz was like, well, maybe you were the fucking cool guy, motherfucker, but but I to reiterate what Miz said without going way off the rails.
I was harassed by white kids daily. So Miz is wearing a suit.
Miz is a jagoff now. I'm the fucking jackoff, you motherfucker. Okay.
Miz had it so offended. Look like he was about to go off on his own little rant there.
I wish he fucking did, because that's not really the way to say that, but. And again, he did say, listen, he took it as this is how they're going to make me pay my dues because I can't go out there and get my ass kicked that much in the ring on television. So you got to respect the guy for that. He didn't, and again, he didn't cry. He didn't bitch. He didn't quit. He fucking took his fucking medicine. He paid his dues, and he's now a respected part of that fucking roster for the fact that he fucking dealt with the shit he dealt with.
Yep. And everybody basically that thought he was a clown, that thought he would never amount to anything. Success is the best revenge.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's definitely getting revenge on people. But this right here proves one more thing: the guy can go out there, he can do the interviews, he can. What did he do? He plugged almost everyone on the fucking show. He put over the company. This is the guy you want out there. This is it. Just like Smart said, if I was building a company and he was available, I'd fucking pick him up in a minute because this is what he's going to do. He's going to put your company over. He's going to put your talent over, and he's going to say the right shit when it's supposed to. So what? He used the word jack off. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah, he's not going to be like a Ken Anderson that goes out there and says some stupid shit like, I've never done steroids. 2 weeks later, he pops up on a fucking steroid sting list. That was a like Jesus. You want, if you want to know 101 ways of how to fuck your push up, go back to Ken Kennedy's running the company. Jesus.
And you got to remember that guy left right when he had literally. They got rid of him when he had a movie coming out, a movie they made.
I think and that actually that actually ties into Orton because it was that Big Ten man when everybody had on the jerseys because that's when Vince had got his panties in a bunch because I think it was the Nuggets.
Yep, Nuggets and Lakers playoff.
Yeah. Vince had WWE actually had the building book first, but the playoffs took precedent, and then the whole episode he basically what's that guy's name? Nucky. It was a pun that they kept fucking with the whole night.
That
Penske, Penny. Yeah, it was a fucking play on words. I think his name was Penis or something.
Yes, Richard Penis, owner of the Denver Nuggets.
They were saying that. You're right.
No, I do remember that they were just real super salty and petty about that, and like especially that shit's always kind of a gem if you want to watch old episodes of Raw, like how salty they are after they've been preempted by tennis for a couple weeks.
Remember when they used to get preempted by the Westminster Dog Show?
I used to hate that shit too as a kid. I was miserable.
Furious.
Did you ever actually watch the Dog Show though?
No,
I did.
I will watch Nitro.
And the only, even as an adult, like I can appreciate things outside of the realm of wrestling now, but even like outside of that, like the only thing that's really enjoyable about the dog shows is that every once in a while there'll be a couple that'll just go rogue, and like bonus points if the master is like yelling at them, pointing at them, making a big deal, and they're just like taking a shit. Like that's pretty much the only upside to watching those kind of shows.
Yeah.
CMAT is saying Stan Kroenke. I believe they were saying Stan Cranky.
Yes.
The Kroenke, I do remember that. But the funny thing about it was, if I remember correctly, everybody was in agreement that WWE got screwed. But then what happened was they had to be WWE and get super petty. And they did like the Lakers versus the Nuggets. Everybody had a jersey. And if I remember correctly, Kennedy had took Orton up for a back suplex that went a little too high. And he dumped him literally on his neck. And then what happened was Orton got a bug up his ass. He went to Vince. Cena went to Vince and co-signed what Orton said, and that basically he literally got fired like the next day or some shit. He had literally come back on that Raw. Mm-hmm. That was his first match back, and then they fired.
He came back. He promoted the movie. He did the match. He was gone.
And he was
gone. And I'm trying to remember the movie. Was it it wasn't Black? Was it Black Hawk Down? No.
Rounds?
No, hold on. Why do I have to do this? Ken Anderson. Yeah, I'm killing time. Give me a minute. Okay, that is not the right Ken Anderson.
I would just say Ken Kennedy movie or something like that.
Yeah, I'm just about to type in Kennedy. Ken Kennedy. Kennedy.
And not for nothing, man. Like it's easy to make fun of him now, but he was actually one of the few bright spots during that era of WWE.
Yeah.
Behind enemy lines?
I liked him. I did. I was a fan of Ken Kennedy's. I must admit.
Now I will say, like, remember how he was like hot shit on SmackDown? Then they switched him to Raw, and that's where the decline started for him. I forgot where I read it at. He did like an interview, might have been a shoot interview with Feinstein or something like that. He said, because he was working with Undertaker a lot on SmackDown, he basically warned him. He said, when you go over to Raw, a lot of people, they handle things a little differently on Raw. And you're basically, it's going to be a lot of people out there that's not going to have your best interest in mind. And damn, was he not giving that dude a warning?
Yeah, and actually, CMAT had it as I was looking it up. Thank you very much, CMAT, and just thank you all around. Behind Enemy Lines, Columbia. It was the kind of Behind Enemy Lines 2. And he was in there. He was MCPO Carter Holt, which I believe is a master corporal, but I'm not sure. Carter Holt. But listen, I remember watching the first Behind Enemy Lines. I did not watch this one, but might have
it's got 4.8 on the old IMDb. So.
I'm looking at the IMDb. Does it really?
Mm-hmm.
I actually want to see this. I actually want to sit down and watch this movie now and see how bad it was, because WWE cut bait on that shit real quick. They promoted it more in the trailers than they did when Kennedy actually came back.
I mean, there's some real quality thespians that are on this cast here.
It does have a 4.8. I'm looking to see if there's any reviews on this fucking movie. Oh, reviews.
Check David, that's something, I guess.
Reviews. Where do I start? When the movie first started, I wondered if there was going to be a problem with the image quality and the way it was filmed. This is the same quality of cheap porn. Did they use the same camera? Okay, let's just stop right there. Okay.
Hey, yeah, box out. Yeah, no comments going to top that one.
No, I can't go any further. Anyway.
Now, who's that guy? We should give him credit. Who's that poster?
I don't know. I already closed it. Oh, God. Let's just call him Mr. Genius.
Dean C. Pumas.
No.
There you go. There you go.
Fuck it. No, that's Chuck Palumbo.
Thank you, Weaver. Thank you, Weebs. Master Chief Petty Officer. Thank you, Weebs. Absolutely. Former military there. Appreciate it, Weebs.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. So, all right. Guys, you got any more on Raw? Because honestly, we basically talked about the Nia match.
I'm not going to read the full review, but the title of this one is a 2 out of 10 that just says, not the best war movie ever made. We're really going out on a limb there, buddy.
All right. I'm going to have to watch this shit. I'm going to have to watch it.
Yeah, I mean, it's honestly, quick little segue. Because I actually own a couple of these shit movies that I got as gifts. I just haven't got a chance to watch them. But between Kennedy and this one, Ambrose was in the 12 Rounds reboot, wasn't he, or the sequel?
I think one of them, yeah.
Yep, you got Orton. He was in one of them. Ted, we might have to we might have to review a run of some of these WWE movies, because we've actually overlooked a lot of gems.
Well, they had put Orton in one of the Marine movies, but that didn't go over since he got a dishonorable discharge from the Marines. But anywho, what else you got there?
Yeah, 'cause I think the Miz, ironically enough, took over that franchise, because it started off with Cena, then they went to Ted DiBiase, was going to go to Orton. Marines stepped in and said, fuck that. And then Miz has been in every sequel since.
And I will say, I did see the one with Cena, and it was good. I actually enjoyed that movie. And the girl he was in there with was gorgeous. But I did enjoy that movie, actually, the first one.
I haven't seen them all, but to date, my favorite WWE movie is probably Countdown. If for no other reason, you get fucking Rusev in his ring gear pointing a gun at somebody. That visual is fucking iconic for me.
I like that movie because Dolph was fucking really good in it. I hate to tell you, but he was really good in that movie. And we reviewed it if you want to go check that out. Check that out in the archives on shoutengine.com/Hollywood Hangout.
And don't forget to give credit where it's due to a Big Red Machine, the mayor, Kane, as the hard-ass police chief.
Absolutely. Absolutely, man. That was just, God, you know what? We might have to just come back and start reviewing those movies. I just need to find a night. I don't even know what we're going to do this weekend because I got to work Saturday. I don't, but we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Luckily, my meetings were switched to Wednesdays, so I don't have to wake up at 5 in the fucking morning anymore. So I'm even less stressed doing this show right now. I don't care if I wake up tired tomorrow. But yeah, I got nothing more on Raw, guys, to be honest with you. We kind of went through everything, really.
No, yeah, we did.
Yeah. Let's get into AEW, but before we get into AEW real quick, let's get into this last little news thing I have. I guess AEW brought this guy in. Now, Anthony and Smark, both of you guys are a little more up on the indies than me. Who do either one of you guys know who Clutch Adams is?
Honestly, first time hearing the name.
Smart?
Yeah, actually a little bit. I really, really enjoyed Robin Williams' performance in that movie.
No, that was Patch Adams.
Oh, wrong show. Okay. Anyway, no, I've actually never heard of him either. So, I mean, that speaks volumes towards the trajectory of his career before.
You know what's funny? Oh, God, this is going to be a horrible joke. You know what's funny? They both kind of committed suicide in their careers.
Well, you're right. It's a terrible joke, but, good execution.
I'm thinking of it going, should I say this? And I said, fuck it, why not? Please, Lord, forgive me. Forgive me for that one, please.
They both killed. You get it?
Well. I kind of like mine better, Anthony. But sorry.
Everybody's a critic.
I know.
They can't all win.
No. Oh, God. Anyway. Oh, shit. All right. So they were supposed to bring in this Clutch Adams guy. And some older tweets of his came out, and a fan made them public once again. The tweets were from... let me bring this up to large so I can actually see this. They were from... oh, look, they started off on my birthday. August 4th, 2013 is when it was. But the real post was from 8-9 that got him in trouble. 8-4, he was talking about Tony Ramos a little bit. He called him Tiny Ramos. He was calling him a homo, first of all. He put out 3 tweets. He called him he's a homo. And then the same day put out another tweet. Tiny Ramos is a fucking homo. Next one says Tony Ramos, a fucking homo. But the tweet that got him in trouble, let me get this set so I can try to read this. Give me a second here, guys. Let's get this ready. All right, here we go. Let me widen this a little bit. Okay. He was replying to someone. I guess someone was telling him it's not right to say shit like that anymore. And this is what he said. At KF Weeze. First of all, he starts off the comment with the word Nikka. Let's just start it with that. I'm not going to say that, but you can go ahead and, say that for yourself. You're fucking gay. Suck my ass, you pussy as, not ass, A-S, bitch, cocksucker, ass, homo, ass, lil dick, having fucking 2 mom in the butt ass. Okay. Both those words started with N. One was hard. One was A. Put it that way.
We could just extract the last 20 seconds.
Yeah.
Please. That'd be good. That'd be a good soundbite to just play. Old
Anthony?
Pussy ass, pug ass, bitch ass, motherfucker.
Yeah. Anthony, I hope that was all right the way I read that. But
No, continue, Box. You got any more to say?
That was it. That was the whole tweet. Obviously, this became public, and a person said, "Is this the kind of guy you're going to promote?" Thought you guys were about inclusivity, and his match was pretty much immediately pulled. The only reason I bring this up is because AEW might want to start looking in and vetting the people they're bringing in. They do tend to bring in a lot of people for AEW Dark. They might want to get a person to start looking through social media, digging through their social media so this doesn't happen again. It's just not a good look for a company that is kind of promoting themselves as the inclusive, progressive company. You know what I mean? It's not a good look. They need to start vetting these people before they bring them in. And obviously by vetting, I mean looking through every little thing they've done, going on and seeing what's going on. But it's just not a good look. And look, yeah, they pulled the match, but I believe some would call that too little too late.
This is very true, but yeah, just people just have to be smarter, because as we found out with not just wrestling fans but people in general, there are a lot of folks out there with a lot of fucking time on their hands that'll go through like literally years and years and years of tweets to find something that they could pin on you. Which, and God, God bless you if you got that kind of time on your hand.
I don't even think it's so far as much people going through tweets as you get one person who unfriended him for this reason, and then they see him and they go, "Oh, I unfriended him because he said this. Let me find it." And this fucking cunt wasn't smart enough to fucking delete his fucking Twitter. He's deleted his whole Twitter now. He wasn't smart enough to go back and delete some of the dumb shit he said. Not that it goes away. I know it doesn't go away. It doesn't. But maybe it's harder to find. Maybe someone didn't screenshot it. Maybe, especially in 2013, you might have had a shot. What the fuck is this guy thinking? Unless those are just his real thoughts and he doesn't care and thought that was fucking wonderful to put out there and maybe thought he was being clever by putting it out there. But what I will, but definitely AEW, vet these people a little more. Go through this shit before someone else has to. It's not a good look on you. It's just not. And this guy, what a fucking piece of human fucking garbage. Just human feces, as far as I'm concerned. What the fuck was he thinking? I don't care if it was 2013, 2003, 1993. I don't care. That is fucked up. Fucking what the fuck, man? What are people thinking? Anyway, guys,
just because I like the name Clutch Adams, I'm hoping he turns into like the new Lars, where we get like a daily update on fucked up shit from this dude's past. Courtesy of Ringside News.
Oh yeah, there's a credible source right there. Jesus Christ, I wouldn't. If that guy.
By the way, is Lars still alive? It seems like that dude. Like, is he all right? Is he still employed? I'm curious. Like, do you figure they might have used the pandemic to cut bait with him? Like, don't hear his name at all anymore.
Yeah. I don't know. The real problem is I don't care. I
know you don't.
I really didn't care for the guy anyway. I didn't care for the guy anyway, to be honest with you. I kind of thought I didn't like his look. I didn't care for him. So whatever. And after all I heard, he seems like a fucking little crybaby. And I'm not talking Johnny Depp. I'm sorry, I like that movie. Leave me alone. Don't fucking judge me, motherfucker. All right, so.
Yep, that's why I stayed silent. I was wondering what the transition was going to be.
Any more on Clutch Adams there, guys, or should we just agree that he is human feces? And
he's trash.
There we go. There we go. Let's get into AEW, and to be honest, that's all I got, unless you guys got anything after this, but let's go ahead and knock out
one piece of news. It kind of ties into AEW.
All right.
Specifically, their top late champion, that dude.
Oh, all right. We can let's get into this a little bit, and then we can get into that. How's that sound? Or do you want to do it first? Up to you. I don't care.
No, we can get AEW.
All right. Let's see here. I did not see much of the beginning. I was kind of late to the show. Jumped in a shower real quick. I was all nasty, so decided to go ahead and jump in a shower. So I did right when I got to when I walked in. Jimmy Havoc and Kip Sabian were coming in the ring. Did I miss anything before that?
No, just a recap of what happened the week before.
Okay. We said blame Lars's dad, Kevin Sullivan.
Damn. Weebs, you always give us gold in the chat. That's why we love you.
You always know what to say, sir. Always know what to say, Weebs. We appreciate that, sir. That was fucking great. Anyway, all right, so I didn't miss anything before that.
This match, to me, for the match we're talking about that started off AEW this week was a tag team title match with Kenny Omega and Hangman Page defending against Kip Sabian and Jimmy Havoc. For me, this was like the tale of two matches. I enjoyed the Omega Hangman combo against Sabian. When Jimmy Havoc was in the match, I could give less than a fuck about it. But I mean, it wasn't a bad match. I enjoyed the actual match. I just didn't enjoy Jimmy Havoc's participation in it. He seemed to really add nothing to the match. That's just me.
Jimmy Havoc seems like the guy a little too old to be still cosplaying Marilyn Manson. I'm sorry, dude. I just don't care for the guy. It's like, dude, you maybe just put the eye makeup away, and you're a little too old to be. Marilyn Manson's even too old to be doing Marilyn Manson. It's just,
yeah, maybe that was it. But am I off base with that? Or did he just seem out of place in his match?
No, a little. I'll agree, a little bit. Smark is over there laughing. What's up, Smark?
Well, I was glad because it triggered my memory. We're talking about Havoc during the match, like right towards the very beginning, because I think he started off the match, but I could be wrong. Anyways, they were putting him over for like how wise beyond his years he was, and they made note to mention that he was trained by the Knight family in England. And JR, and he meant nothing by this, but just in lieu of his recent plugging of Sonny's OnlyFans, it made me laugh because he said, the Knight family, real big fan of her daughter Paige, just a real big fan. And I was like, for what reason, Mr. Ross?
Well, I saw them videos with Xavier.
Goddamn kid can work.
That's a talented boy right there, I'll tell you now.
Doing a old house spot in the butt. She just leaped on. That dildo was 18 feet in the air.
Goddamn, who was that cameraman? I want to know still. They say it might have been Ryback. Could have been Lars. Never know.
But yeah, that just got me because it's like he didn't mean anything by it, but just the way that he said how much of a real big fan of Paige he was. It just I laughed for a good 3 minutes.
I gotta tell you, I'm a big fan of Paige right now. The way she looks too.
She's got a good work rate.
Definitely, she leveled up some of her work rate, if you know what I mean. She did. But looking good. Paige is looking really, really, really good. But there we go. That was that match. Kip Sabian, who won that match, by the way? Oh, Kenny Omega, obviously. Why would I think any different? Yeah, Omega and Hangman did win the match. But I gotta agree with you though, Anthony. Havoc just put these names real quick. Kip Sabian, flippy, talented, young, good looking. Kenny Omega, known for, great long matches. Adam Page, known for some pretty good shit he's done. And Jimmy Havoc?
Yeah.
One of these things does not belong. I'll let you decide which one it is. But after that, go ahead.
And we talked about it last week. They feel like it's a little bit. They feel like a weird tag team, being Havoc and Sabian. But I will give credit to, and I think that's probably their best asset, is that the match, Omega and Page are so good that they made them, I feel like if they intend on using them as a tag team moving forward, they solidified them as a legitimate tag team. Because they put over how strong and how, their resolve against the tag team champions and how good they ended up putting in their effort. And it made them seem like they actually were somewhat of a credible, capable tag team.
Yeah. Definitely.
And I will also agree with C-Matt said that Jimmy Havoc has the worst look in wrestling. Absolutely. Looks fucking terrible.
Yeah, that's coming from Sacha Baron Corbin. I mean, that says a lot to me. That he agrees with that. But anyway, trust me, that's saying something. What did you guys think of this Tully Blanchard segment? I like the promo at the beginning, but I don't understand why a black fingerless glove is the missing piece to him succeeding. Anyone? Is he going to go?
I'm so glad you brought this up, Box.
He won't get cum on his hands? What?
It was a subtle shot at OJ. Not all Black Lives Matter, folks. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
What? I kind of thought it was a shot at Rollins.
Who knows? No, but I'm glad. This was it. Kind of it was perplexing to me. Like Blanchard's been around for a few months now. Mm-hmm. Has yet to appear, to the best of my knowledge, on Dynamite. I mean, he's been on Dark a whole bunch. And this is the best use they had. Like, seriously, like, if you... Blanchard is still a good talker. He's still very much capable in that department. And this is the best you can come up with for this guy?
Yeah, I mean, he may not look like Tully of old, but he can still talk like Tully of old.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but this made no sense. And Anthony, he's been on Dynamite a little bit here and there, but not a heavy presence. But this whole thing to me, I was just like, what the fuck is this? What is happening?
Well, yeah, like Antox was saying, he thought it was like they were trying to make it look like a coal miner's glove or something, but it was just weird because Jim Ross put over how there's been several men who have been become just devastating ass kickers once they adopted the look of the black gloves. Doesn't mention who any of these people are. Like, it would have been lovely if you just gave out a single name, which Antox is saying, maybe reference to Barry Windham. Would have been great if somebody said anybody's name during that. It was like, there's been a lot of people who've worn black gloves and they don't take shit from anybody.
Yeah.
Like, how bad do you have to feel if you're fucking Sean Spears and the way that they make you more interested is by giving you a glove?
Yeah, and he had a smile on his,
This glove is twice as entertaining as you are. But you put on the glove.
No, but the best part of the whole thing was that fucking promo, man. That I want to believe that was a halfway shoot. Like, Tully Blanchard just going off like, motherfucker, they brought me out of retirement for you, and this is the best you can give me, motherfucker. I need you to. It was like literally, he was like, yo, Sean, I need you to get in the zone, baby. I need you to get in the zone. You're disappointing me out there. What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah. Tully's promo was really great. And speaking of great promos, I'll go ahead and just kind of move on, guys. We did have Brian Cage go out there and take out. I mean that Sean Dean. The match, what it was what it was. But Taz, I am glad they gave Taz a mic. I'm glad they're using Taz as a fucking manager because he's really good. He's really good. He feels like, to me, he's getting some confidence back. Not that he lost it, but he's kind of playing that old Taz that can go out there and really talk some shit. And Moxley came out, and did Moxley call that the AWA title, or did I hear things?
I'll be honest, I wasn't really paying attention to that portion.
I thought I heard him say AWA, but maybe he did say AEW. I was kind of in and out during this promo, but I did like what Moxley was saying. I loved what Taz did before that, and I just thought it was a really, really well done segment with both of them. But Taz coming out there and being more than just an announcer, I'm very, very happy to fucking see it, man. I like Taz. I like Taz more on the mic than I ever did in the ring, to be honest with you. I always thought his promos came off as more believable than him. I mean, well, especially when it came to WWF at the time. I was a huge fan of ECW Taz. When he went to WWF, that was watered down Taz. I'm sorry. To me, it just was the whole time. But his promos always came off even in WWF, his promos came off very, very well. So, that's where I stand on it. What do you guys think?
Can't argue with anything you said. Taz he's always been great on the mic, and I too enjoyed ECW Taz. He was obviously his WWF run left a lot to be desired in terms of in-ring, and that just boils down to the fact that Vince probably took your philosophy of he just saw like a short, pudgy Italian dude. Like, what the fuck can I do with this? Mm-hmm. He wasn't gonna push that dude as a killer, which is what got him over in ECW. Just dropping people on their heads, going out there and just killing people. He goes to WWF and said, "No, that's not the game plan. That doesn't work for me, brother."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Or brother.
Yeah.
No, but I think it's a good combo. I do kind of like. I feel like they're kind of booking themselves into a corner, giving us this match too soon. Like who do you really want to beat Cage this soon? Because I still think it's too soon to take the belt off of Mox.
I could see a good fuck finish happening here. Something going on. Maybe even Taz does something to get involved or something weird. Not that Taz can do a ton in the ring, but I could see Taz going in there and choking out Moxley or something to get involved. Maybe that's what I would do to prolong it a little bit.
We should mention this match will be taking place at Firefest, which is going to be a free show on AEW over two. I'm not sure which night, but it's going to be over a 2-week period.
2 weeks,
July 1st and July 8th.
Yeah, absolutely. Smart. What do you think of this little pair up? I know we talked about it last week, but still enjoying this little pair of these two, Brian Cage and Taz?
Absolutely, and just as a bonus aside to that, I've actually watched the last 2 episodes of Dark. I forgot how much I truly fucking enjoyed hearing Taz on commentary. Because, he actually provides insightful, opinions and, why this move hurts and why that move's effective. But then he'll also just kind of, get bored and, throw in some random, innate shit. So it's, kind of having a combination of, Mike Tenay and, Dusty Rhodes on commentary, and it's fucking hilarious and fun to listen to.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, even if you don't know if he's right, you're like, this move hurts because you go in and you get down, and next thing you know, your fucking neck is broken. And you're like, I don't know if that's true, but that sounds really painful. That's really, really good. That's great insight, Taz. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it goes back to what we were saying about the Miz. Even if you don't know whether or not he's telling the truth, his conviction of what he's saying, it makes all the difference in the world.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So good. We're all enjoying Taz. That's listen. I gotta say that's something I didn't think I'd be saying in 2020 is praising Taz. I really never thought it.
And we had to correct the chat room on this one. It's Taz. We getting Taz with 1 Z. Taz with 1 Z has always been golden. You add the extra Z, you get shit Taz.
Right.
If it's not on commentary. There's a distinction.
Right. There's Taz and there's Taz.
Yeah.
Right.
Taz was never the same once they added that second Z.
Yeah. Yeah. You got to be very careful how you say it. Taz or Taz. I know, I'm making no sense. Leave me alone. I've had a few shots already. It happens. But anyway, we got the Murder Hawk. After that, Lance Archer coming out there, and another. I'm liking what they're doing. First of all, Jake is awesome, but I'm liking what they're doing with Lance Archer. They're really, especially these out of the arena little promos, vignettes, whatever you want to call them. They're doing with him. Very well done.
I do think it was kind of funny, and I don't even know if this was intentional. Just given, in light of everything that's going on in our world, I just thought it was funny to have this big jacked up white dude throwing around a lucha, what I'm assuming is a Mexican dude. I'm surprised they didn't have a wall and they just metaphorically threw him over it. like that. Like, seriously, I'm sorry. God forgive. But that was the first thought I just thought of watching that segment. Like, do they really, with everything going on, do they really have this dude beating up a luchador? Like,
the weirdest part to that is the same luchador that he beat up was in the crowd during the show. Like, why would you buy? Like, no one knows who the fuck this guy is. Why do you need him to be in the crowd? Like, why not just have him not be out there to sell? Because it looks like he beat the shit out of him, and the guy just got right back up, went in, and attended the show. Like, it kind of undersells the whole segment.
Yeah, it kind of did. All right, trying to move on. It's getting late. We're getting long here. We had the little private party thing, but honestly, I got nothing to say about that. It was good, but Colt Cabana versus Chris Jericho. Did anyone else think that Colt Cabana looked like he was in fucking slow mo tonight, or was it just me?
He kind of was. I did kind of cringe at the fact that they're essentially trying to make Colt Cabana a thing on commentary. Like he did a sweet little moonsault to the outside, landed on his feet. That was pretty cool. And I'm not going to sit here and say Colt Cabana is a bad wrestler or anything like that, but this match just kind of felt like, because I mean, between the two of them, obviously Cabana's younger, he's a little more mobile. Mm-hmm. Is the best way I could put it. But it still just felt like it felt like an unnecessary match. And that finish, I'm sorry, I love Jericho to death, but that fucking back elbow gotta go.
Well,
that's not it.
You know what? It looked fine. It's that Cabana was on the wrong side of it when it hit him. That's what I noticed. Again, man, I thought Cabana was a little. He seemed like he wasn't with it tonight in slow motion. Look, I'm not the biggest Colt Cabana fan, but I know he can do better than what I saw tonight. I just thought it wasn't very good. I could be picky or whatever, but my opinion.
Maybe it was a part of the story of the match. If you if you want to kind of tie it back to the follow-up promo that he did, where he was kind of down on himself, like, I finally make it to national TV, can finally show people what I got to do, and yes, I got a pretty solid record here so far, but whenever I get the big matches, I choke. So I wonder if it was like by design that he kind of came across as kind of like a little off.
Maybe, and then of course Brody Lee and one of his I guess we can call them disciples, came out and kind of put a little little idea in Colt's head that maybe he belongs with them. I got a feeling we're going to see Colt go over there. I do.
Yeah.
I do. But we did see after the match, Chris Jericho was trying to calling Mike Tyson out, but instead we get Orange Cassidy. Antok says Colt Cabana becomes Colt Cabana. Ha Absolutely. I like that. But we did get a little bit of Orange Cassidy tonight. Guys, we said
Cabana was slower than his legal team against Punk. Shout out to Weebs.
Weebs again. Weebs is on fire tonight. Oh, shit. Now, guys, we were saying Orange Cassidy, best way to use him is lightly and as sparingly as possible. Are they getting to the point where they're going to outdo this guy? Or are they still in that green area of keep going with what they're doing? I in my opinion, I think they're starting to get into the a little too much, a little too soon.
I won't even say that as much as I feel like they're starting to get a little. And this was my concern from the beginning. They're starting to get a little too cute for their own good with them.
Okay.
I like the segment was entertaining, and the guy is good at what he does. I can't even take that away from him. He slowly won me over, but because he's so good at it, I feel like they're starting to take for granted that they can just randomly throw him out there just because. So I feel like they need to reel it back in a little bit. Like for me, like Jericho's already got enough stuff going on with the Tyson thing. Inner Circle still have their issues with Moxley and all that stuff. it felt like this was just a segment for the sake of, somebody just thought, Jericho and Cassidy having like some type of interaction would be entertaining. Let's do that. Yeah, I mean, I feel like this was done just for the sake of doing it, as opposed to having like any type of real plan behind it.
I can see that. It's actually a better point than what I was saying. Smart, what you got?
It's kind of hard, because I do agree that you have to be careful with how you use his character to not overexpose him. But at the same time, he actually is a legitimately good and talented wrestler. So it's really hard to be like, well, to find that balance of not overusing the character, but also being able to use and benefit from having him out there putting on good matches with people. So it's a hard balance to strike. I guess they're kind of doing this as like maybe a little like mini feud, because I don't think they're going to be able to have Tyson like every week. But I do think that they're angling towards something with Tyson. I don't even know if it's going to necessarily be a one-on-one match, but it seems like they're kind of just using him almost like a red herring to kind of have a little mini feud with him and Cassidy before they can get him and Tyson out there. So
right.
I don't know. It's going to be interesting, because again, if you're worried about them overusing, they're going to be a 6-man next week.
True.
Because it's him, best friends against Jericho and Santana Ortiz. So
right.
It'll be another week of using them. So
yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I know there's a very fine line. I mean, obviously they want to put Orange Cassidy out there as much as possible, but there's also that fine line that they need to figure out if they can work with, and I guess we'll find out if they do. Tony Schiavone after that had a couple interviews, one with Darby Allin that I did not actually watch. I was actually eating dinner during this promo. Did you guys see this?
It was pretty short.
Yeah, it's kind of what it said. That's kind of what I gathered, because I kind of looked up and it was over. And I was like, oh.
Yeah, he basically said some poetic shit, and they went to a commercial, and they came back for the FTR interview.
Yes.
And I gotta say, man,
hey,
this was it was awful. I'm sorry.
Hey, Meltzer got a mention. Dave Meltzer got a mention in this segment, guys.
Talented wrestlers, but like honestly, between the gimmick names and the FTR shit and this interview segment, I'm starting to see. I think I'm starting to see Vince's side of things on this. The more I see these guys outside of WWE.
Wow.
I got to tell you, I actually thought the interview was good. I thought the part once the Butcher and the Blade came down, I thought that's where it actually took a hokey turn, if you ask me. That's my opinion. I really didn't mind the interview. It was what it was. Like I said, Dave Meltzer got a little mention. But I thought when Butcher and the Blade came down and what they were saying, that got a little fucking hokey and a little corny to me. Smark, you agree with that?
I do agree. I like the way that they delivered the promo was good. It gets a little bit conflicting when like they're basically saying that they're not out there to put on like 5-star matches. They're just out there to just beat people's ass and end it as quick as possible. It's weird to have them be like the kind of badass, no nonsense tough guys, but then also like they're harping on how they're going to teach people that they're the best tag team. They're going to teach people how to actually be a tag team. Because they do a little shot at the Lucha Brothers with them just talking about how they don't follow proper tag team rules and etiquette. And it's like, if you guys are going to be the badass, like, let's maybe we drop the idea of caring so much about holding onto the tag rope. Like, that shit comes off as making you look like a dork.
Well, smart. FTR means follow the rules.
No, okay. Well, that makes sense.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's kind of what rubbed me the wrong way about it, like the smart stuff. Because I was trying to think about... I wanted to like the promo. Because like I said, I do think they're a good team, and they were vastly underrated and underutilized in WWE towards the end, especially. But maybe that's what I was trying to put my finger on. It came across as very much inconsistent. The delivery of it wasn't necessarily the delivery, but it was like they couldn't decide whether they wanted to work with the interview or shoot with it. Like the work aspect is we're going to be the badass tag team. You know, basically we're not working by the hour. We're going to get in there, kick ass, get in, get the fuck out. The shoot aspect of it was, well, we're going to teach these flippity floppy guys how to work.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're going to teach them about tag team psychology because we don't do that flippy shit.
Yeah.
You know, no flips, Tony. Just fists.
Yeah, and by the way, could they never ever say FTR out again? Ever? I cringed. I got douche chills when that happened. It was gross. I was like, oh, no.
Pox, you didn't hop out your chair when they had Tony Schiavone. They bleeped it, by the way, because, you know, legal reasons. Fuck the revival.
Yeah.
All this time, you know, Tony thought that's what the FTR stood for. And then they gave, Fight the Revolution or...
I follow the rules. That's the only one I remember, or whatever. Yeah, I think "Want to Fight the Revolution" was one of them. Which, anyway, yeah. Jesus Christ, who knows?
So I mean, I don't know. Coming out of this, do you think they did a good job of building up anticipation for when these guys eventually make their in-ring debut?
I mean, I guess the segment still did its job. Whether you liked it or not, it did its job. I mean, they set up the match. I don't know. No, it wasn't great. No, it probably didn't build it up the way it should have, but...
I just... I'm not, like, a super big fan of them, but it just... I think what I was talking about last week is it just kind of holds up. Like, this is fucking it for the Butcher and Blade. Like, it's over. Like, they look like fucking doofuses in this promo. They're going to lose. Like, I thought that they were maybe, like, trying to do something where they're, like... Because the QT Marshall and Rhodes are number 2 ranked in the tag team division. I don't know why. But they're setting up the whole thing with QT Marshall and Allie, and I thought that they were actually going to, like, use that to her, like, kind of trying to subterfuge, like, kind of, trick them or whatever and gain the upper hand, and somehow she's been, like, working with Butcher and Blade the whole time or whatever, and they make them look like this serious threat, but it's not happening. These guys are just fucking jokes now.
No, I see a way to make them. There's only one way to save them, Smart.
How's that?
Turn them into the modern day Mario and Luigi.
I don't know why I think that's a good idea, but I do think it's a good idea. But which one's Luigi?
Obviously, the Blade.
Okay.
The Butcher has a Mario look. Definitely. Just throw him in a hat. Perfect.
That is true, but I feel like people like the Butcher better. So that would make him more of a Luigi type, but he does have the more of a Mario look. So you got a point.
Yeah, absolutely. Or maybe pierce his cheek and have him come out as Captain Lou Albano too. I don't know. Whatever.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Smart. You popped it that way too much, Smart.
I just realized I'm glad I don't actually have any money in wrestling companies. Because you can seriously just walk up to me and be like, Captain Lou Albano too. And I'm like, fuck yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's go get a shot and do it. Yeah. Okay. All right. We already talked about the Colt Cabana promo, and I guess we get to the main event here and then get to that last little news bit Anthony has, and we'll run on out of here after that. Jungle Boy versus Cody. Gotta say, I actually enjoyed this match more than I thought I would. I wasn't exactly looking forward to it. I don't know why, but I wasn't.
Yeah.
But the match
came across predictable.
Of course. I mean, we knew Cody wasn't going to lose, but I did think the match went off good.
Yeah, I enjoyed the match, but I guess when it was announced initially, I felt like I had already saw the match in my mind. It was going to be one of those deals where Cody was going to give him a lot of offense, a couple hope spots, but in the end, he was still going to retain. They were going to do the big little respect thing at the end. I'll be honest, I was not expecting it, but I should have. It added to the douchiness of it for me. I get what they were going for. But did we really need fucking pyro for a fucking hug between fucking Cody Rhodes and fucking Jungle Boy at the end of a match?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Was it that fucking deep?
No, you don't need pyro. You need fireworks, Anthony. Fuck pyro. Fireworks.
Jesus Christ.
Yep.
I'm serious. If this is fucking scrap the whole title now. We don't need fireworks every fucking match with this dude.
I think
at the end of every fucking match, him crying and hugging, motherfucker. We don't need that shit at the end of every match.
No, I honestly didn't mind he picked him up and gave him a hug and thanked him, and you could tell after the match was over, Cody was down there talking to him when he was after he pinned him.
Good job, kid. Good job.
Yeah,
you're gonna be a star, baby.
I'm sure
you're made.
I'm sure he was. Yeah.
Did he have a cigar in his mouth the entire time? I tell you what, kid, you're gonna go places. I was picturing it more being like him just kind of hugging him and being like, in 20, 30 years from now, you could tell your grandkids that you wrestled the Cody Rhodes.
Ooh.
Imagine how special this must be for you to wrestle me.
Oh, yeah. You are so welcome for me wrestling you. That's probably what he was saying down there. You are so welcome. I didn't thank you, Cody, but you're welcome anyway.
I expect a bouquet of roses outside my locker room as a token of your gratitude.
Come on, get up. We got fireworks going off. Come on, get up. Come on. Okay.
Pay good money for these fireworks. Get up, kid.
Yeah, but like I said, I did enjoy it a little more than I thought I would. It was predictable. There was no way Cody was going to lose, but and he didn't. But I did enjoy it. So good match. Jungle Boy is definitely going for. He's going to go far. He's not just when he first came in, some people were like, well, people are going to push him just because of his his real last name. I don't think that's the case. The kid's fucking talented.
Mm-hmm. He is.
Definitely.
No doubt about it.
Definitely.
I mean, I did enjoy the match.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. So,
I think they did a good job with the storytelling on the commentary, too, because they actually made the whole win-loss record thing actually matter a little bit. Because they were saying he first came out, he was 0-8 in his first. They get 8 matches, obviously, but in his first matches he was 0-8, and then now they're saying he was winning almost 60% of all of his matches now. So it's like it's kind of cool to actually see them use statistics and actually make it seem like it does matter in that regard. And then also just real quick, I wish if they're going to do this whole open challenge thing, I really wish they would stop announcing the next match before the show. Like a week before the show, because they already announced who he's facing next week, and it's like, well, if you're gonna leave it up to mystery, shit.
Yeah,
especially when he put it out there, like he basically said this open challenge gimmick is open to anybody from anywhere.
Yeah, definitely. So, all right, Anthony, what you got there? We probably should get on out of here, guys. It's damn near 12:30 here. It's 1:30 where you guys are at almost. Let's go ahead.
I'll save the other portion for Friday because it more ties into the Jackson Day. I want to actually end this on a happy note.
All right.
So with the TNA or Impact, they have Slammiversary coming up, and they did a little promotional video hyping up the pay-per-view. And it featured a lot of currently released, as of now, talent from WWE.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know if you want to pull it up on the old Google machine there, Box, but it's very interesting.
Ironically, one of the people they use, Rockstar Spud. So I mean, we can pretty much bank on that not happening, though.
Yeah, like if I'm going off of memory, I want to say Gallows and Anderson were in there. Rusev was in there. So they basically pretty much guaranteed that these people theoretically can make an appearance.
So,
I want to know what you guys thought about that.
It's a quick little 30-second. I got a 31-second little promo here. I wonder if that's it. Here,
might be it.
Here, the volume is down. Let me just kind of hit play on it and see what it is. Of course, there's an ad anyway. No, it's not an ad. It's who's drinking? Someone's drinking.
Not I.
Oh, and it says you're fired on the back screen.
Yeah, it's interesting, ain't it?
All right,
I'm
so
surprised
this
you
is
didn't
it.
hear about this.
No, here, let me go ahead and turn the volume. I just wanted to make sure it was it before I played it. Here we go.
Breaking news from the world of professional wrestling. Over 20-plus superstars were released from their contracts amidst the ongoing global pandemic. Their fate currently remains unknown. We will be closely monitoring the situation, and we wish them all the best in their future endeavors.
I saw Eric Young, Luke Gallows, Carl Anderson. I guess we'll have to see. That was pretty quick, and that was kind of cool how they did that, though. I gotta give them some credit there. That looked pretty fucking good.
Yeah, it definitely. I mean, like I said, Impact kind of like they'll put out something every now and then that kind of piques my interest.
Mm-hmm.
So when Slammiversary comes around, I'm not saying I'm going to sit there and watch the whole show, but I'm actually interested to see who might show up, you know. And I know that contracts are different to where people can kind of basically work per appearance there, but still work other places, minus WWE. So it'll be interesting to see who pops up. I'm actually hoping, like, out of everybody, I would love to see Rusev pop up just to see what he can do outside of the WWE environment. Eric Young, he's kind of been there, so you know what you want to get with him. Gallows and Anderson, I'd actually want to see somebody new in that environment if they have to go to TNA or Impact.
Yeah, but that was a cool little commercial there. I like where they did that with the whole, all these superstars have been, in wrestling news today. That was very, very creative, I must say. And the guy
did you
watching
like the subtle shot?
Yeah, and the guy watching it did look like what EC3's been looking like in his new promos. With the hoodie, the gray hoodie. Just
so
saying.
You think he's gonna? Could you see him? You think he's gonna go back to Impact as a broken man? Like he kind of left full of himself. Like, hey, I want to be a big time WWE superstar. Man, I'm not.
Never know. I guess we'll see what happens.
If he comes out with a Solo Cup gold, I'll never say another negative thing about Impact again. If he comes out with the hoodie and the fucking Solo Cup.
Guess we'll see. But I did like that right there. So there you go. Slammiversary. I think it said July 18th or June 18th. I didn't see.
Yeah, I don't remember the exact date, but what I was seeing, they were saying was worth note is that like all those releases, they will have gotten past the 90-day no compete clause.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of, as the video indicates, it kind of leaves it open that everything is on the table.
Definitely, man. July. It is July. I knew it was one of those J months, which is this month and next month. So I was 50-50 on that one. Okay.
Thank you, Antox. It wasn't Rusev. It was a Bulgarian flag.
Yes.
Close enough.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, the guy's got a fucking tattooed on his goddamn arm. So, all right, guys. We say we wrap this up. We're probably right at 3 hours, if not just under. I got nothing more. You want to we'll save everything for Friday. We're going to have to burn through it Friday, but whatever. If I go
Well, say as a little bit of a tease,
mm-hmm.
Friday I have every bit of intention to, and something crazy might happen, so it might change. But as of right now, I fully intend on talking about the triumphant return of one of my favorite figures in wrestling, and I'll just leave it at that.
All right, there we go. Little tease for Friday there. Make sure you guys are here on Friday night to join us. Definitely, you guys, I want you guys to check out Shaheen. Check him out at nuclearheatshop.com, chairshottees.com, and Clothesline Media. And give the High Marks a listen. Cheeseman, Mojo, G-Wiz, good guys over there. Definitely want to listen to those guys. And, of course, Bobby Anthem, Bobby Blades on the Human Experience. Check them out. Unscripted Wrestling Podcast. Eric, Doug, Daniel, give them a listen. You will not be disappointed. And Stephen Milan. Really appreciate you sharing the show, man, on Facebook and all social media. Letterboxd, boxd.com/Stephen Milan, 2 L's in Milan. And, of course, subscribe, rate, review, follow us on Spreaker. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Please, get on. Follow us on, subscribe to us on YouTube. Trying to build that. We may be, I still need to talk to you guys. I want to try to use that a little more here and there. We'll see what happens with that. That means I have to spend more time doing it. That's on me. Definitely listen to us on Stitcher, iHeart, Spotify, Google, TuneIn, Player, anywhere you find good podcasts. I can't speak tonight. Anthony, just go.
Bottom Line Pro Wrestling Podcast. Jason Clark available wherever you get your podcast. Spotify, Google Play, iHeart, Stitcher. Download, rate, leave a review. You know the deal. Rant Time with Ray available on Anchor.fm. And follow and subscribe to the YouTube companion channel under the same name. Ray, spelled R-A-E. Boom.
Smart.
That is right. One more time. Planet Raconteur. Planet Raconteur Podcast. Bobby Anthem, Papa Dave Sincere, and Yuck Nasty. You motherfuckers know where to get podcasts. Just go find them.
There you go. All right, everyone. Appreciate you guys joining us tonight. Chat room, always appreciate you guys. Anyone downloading the show, you know I appreciate you. We appreciate everyone. And once again, thanks again, everyone, for Friday night. I know we didn't talk wrestling, but I think we all had to get that out. And that's why we jumped into wrestling tonight. And we will do the same Friday night. We will see you guys then. See ya!
Peace.
Time to take your drunken ass home. It's all right. If you don't know what to do with yourself, take your drunken ass home. Party's over.